The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
That was the weirdest clap too. I had my fingers all out and they interlocked like I was trying to hold my own hand.
You look like a child trying to clap
like
for the first time.
Is this how it goes, mommy?
Clap your hands with your disjointed fucking fingers.
Do I slap the backs of my hands together to make the noise, mother?
Or slap the puppy on the floor.
I don't know what that accent was.
I don't know why. I've always associated a janky British slang with newborn babies because sometimes that's how they talk. Like they don't have their English correct. So.
I like to think of it as like those two characters from Family Guy, the foreign guys that have been here just long enough to almost grasp the slang. That's how babies talk in my head.
I don't remember that one.
No, the two blonde Swedish guys that pop up and they're like, yeah, we like to go boating down at the scuba time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was a terrible.
Well, no, because I was like, when you said Swedish and Family Guy, the only thing I could remember, I think it was Family Guy, when they're doing the skit, when they're talking about the cake made out of dough.
Oh yeah.
We made the cock out of dough.
Family Guy is such a it has this moments of like highbrow humor, but it's 90% just dick and fart jokes.
Well, it's a typical Family Guy episode is just like they have their main basic plot that would last typically 2 to 3 minutes, and then everything else is filler with like cutaways and exposition jokes for reference.
Are they still on the air, like going strong, or are they coming to the end?
See, you remember when I was like, "Hey, do you need your tablet?"
I'm spitballing here. Like, I know they're still going.
Are they? I could have sworn that they were ending. I think they were ending.
No, I think they're in their last. Like, you know what? I don't even have to leave my phone to look that up.
I could have
but they're in like season 15 or some shit at this point.
Oh, they got to be past that. Yeah, they've got to be past 15.
They're not Simpson level yet, are they?
Simpsons is way ahead. Because Family
Guy
started...
Simpsons has like 30 seasons.
Family Guy started in 98? 99?
99. January 31st, 1999.
There you go.
They just jumped in.
Are they still going?
Oh my god. Watch season 18 on Fox.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Fuck, man.
That's disgusting.
Okay, so they are in season 20 currently.
This is not to say that Family Guy is good.
Yeah, not gonna say it's good. It used to be good.
It used to be funny.
Not gonna say it's good or bad. If you like that style of humor, it's great.
I'll say it's not funny anymore. It stopped being funny a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's not funny because if I jump into an episode, I'll probably laugh. But I could not tell you what the show's been doing.
No, it's like The Simpsons or any other sitcom. I think American Dad's doing better. I don't know. It's another one I don't watch. I hardly ever watch anything. Like, even when I need, like, background noise or something, I just go to YouTube. And, like, when I felt like I was obligated to watch something because I felt like I was watching too much YouTube, I would go to Hulu and I was like, I don't know what to watch. So I'd put on, like, King of the Hill or Bob's Burgers. Anybody who's interested in like long form podcasts where it's more about movies and whatnot, EFAP typically goes on between 6 to 8, 9 hours sometimes. You've gasped. Who died? Are you serious?
I swear it was recording.
Are you serious? We're sitting here at 54 minutes, 53 seconds. Oh my god! You ready? 3, 2, 1. That was a good clap.
That was a good clap.
Better than the first clap we had earlier.
Made up for the terrible clap from earlier.
Alright, so we had a technical difficulty.
No. I had a technical difficulty. You did just fine over there. My bullshit phone decided that we didn't need the audio from the last hour of recording.
40 minutes.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
It's close enough to be very frustrating.
So, we were talking about Family Guy. Fuck Family Guy.
Fuck Family Guy. I don't even give a fuck about Seth MacFarlane right now. He should have stayed on that airplane. Fuck that guy.
Oh, and then we talked about Camp. We talked about Campwood.
We had like 20 minutes on Campwood. It was, a nice little town.
We don't need to sell Campwood.
And then we talked about Norman Reedus might be coming to the MCU as Ghost Rider.
Norman Reedus, Ghost Rider.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's being talked to by Marvel, allegedly.
Yeah.
And that's literally all the information on that, so we can just kind of sweep right the fuck over. Like, there's no more info on that.
Oh, man. We're essentially recording a whole second podcast.
Yeah. Although we didn't really talk... Who... I asked you before, and then we got sidetracked on different jokes. Who do you think Schwarzenegger would be able to do? Because I know you said something about Guardians.
Yeah.
Then we dipped over onto... We lost all the Chuck Norris jokes.
The Chuck Norris
Fuck
joke.
Me, man.
Well, yeah, the Expendables Chuck Norris thing, Expendables in space.
Fucking Chuck Norris.
Maybe I'll just, cut back to my audio as,
There's got to be some good stuff in there. Like, maybe...
Well, no, I just mean I'll insert references from the recording I've got.
God. So, apologies for the jump cuts in this, if there is one.
No, there's going to be jump cuts.
Apologize. That's my fault. I fucked that up. But we're going to just truck on through and try to push out a new
I guess
podcast.
we could restart with the Eternals thing.
Do we need... Yeah, we need to. We both went and watched the Eternals, and you know what? We could tell the actual experience, because we went to the Alamo Drafthouse.
Oh yeah, we didn't even start with that part, so okay. So that was your first time going to the Drafthouse.
That is also your water I
sure
reached
is.
for. That was my first time. I enjoyed it, man. If you've never gone to an Alamo Drafthouse, make it a thing. Get your ass over there. It's neat.
Oh, okay, no, I was blanking for a second thinking...
You thought I was talking to you and not the audience?
No. I was blanking thinking, wait, I feel like we did an Alamo Drafthouse plug already, but we did that...
We talked about it a little bit on last time.
Yeah.
Because we were going to be going.
Yeah, on the last recording we did, which, may or may not go up.
That's definitely got to go up before this.
I've got the audio issues on my end, so we'll see what I can do with that.
Oh, that's true. Well, I think it'll come out well.
Okay,
anyway,
so you went to the Alamo Drafthouse. What did you think?
I enjoyed it, man. Like I like I said earlier, I think that I thought the seats would be farther apart and we wouldn't be rubbing elbows with the dudes next to us. But that was really the only negative for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was super. I put the app on my phone. I bought the tickets. I walked in. They didn't scan a goddamn thing. They just looked at it and were like, "You got your ticket? Yep. All right, bye."
Yeah, you walk in, go to your theater area.
The poor
back. You have your tickets.
The poor back problems for the waitresses there, though. They walk through when the movie's on so that they don't get in the eye line of whoever's in the row above.
Yeah, because it's set up like a ascending theater, or what do you call it?
Like an amphitheater where it just goes up and up.
Yeah.
But the poor waitresses you'd write your order down on a little slip of paper and stick it on the table, and they would just quietly crouch through the fucking aisle, grab it, and then instead of walking away with it, they would just kneel down in front of your table, write it on their ticket, and then walk away. So just take all the tickets and go. But, that's just me.
Well, sometimes you got to make sure whoever wrote it has legible handwriting.
That is also true.
So that's why they look at it.
It's very true. But it was a neat experience. Now, what's funny to me about it is the difference between our experiences there that night, because you've been to Alamo Drafthouse, so you were expecting certain things to be there, and then they weren't.
So I hadn't been to the Drafthouse since everything locked down and everything. This is the first time I've been to it since everything's opened back up.
Yeah.
Post-pandemic and everything. And I'm trying to remember the last movie I went and saw at the Drafthouse. It was 2019. God, I can't remember. Anyway.
Marvel movie, or?
I really honestly don't remember what it was.
Maybe it was Expendables.
No, God, no.
Fast Furious 9?
I don't even remember, because I remember I was trying to remember it last time, and I still can't remember.
No.
Anyway, yeah, I remember I was looking at the food item menu, and like anybody who's never been there, like they also sell varieties of alcohol. That's like one of its appealing factors for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Is like,
which I thought about getting like a drink.
Yeah.
Just because we could.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's a good place for adults to go watch a movie and have like a nice restaurant quality type experience also, with like alcohol and decent food.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really upset me was it was a consideration of food I was gonna get. I was like, well, I'm gonna see if they still got the buffalo wings.
Oh God.
And so I see. Or the appetizers are, and Albert points this out, hey, they have the buffalo cauliflower.
They have vegan buffalo
wings.
Well,
okay, so where's the buffalo wings at?
Yeah.
And I'm flipping, like, it's essentially like just an open, closed 2-page.
Yeah, it's like 2 pages front and back.
Yeah, it is like,
super simple.
Yeah. And so I'm looking for it, it's like, they don't have buffalo wings.
Mm. And a whole one of those pages was for different types of alcohol.
Yeah, like essentially one page is for different types of alcohol, and then the rest is like different type. Like one half a page is like different types of pizza.
Yeah,
and the others like appetizers and entrees.
As long as it took them to get your food out compared to they brought mine out, and then like fucking 20 minutes later finally brought yours. Like we probably should have just done a pizza and shared it. At least we would have gotten to eat at the same time instead of watching.
We can do it next time. But yeah, so they've got chicken tenders, but they can't add that buffalo sauce that they're going to put on discount broccoli. They can't add that sauce to the chicken wings and say, hey, we've also got buffalo wings made with real meat. For you carnivores out there.
Right.
Nope.
And you know what? I'm not even going to lie. I really kind of wanted to try them.
The cauliflower buffalo?
Just to see.
Have you ever had, like, cauliflower tots?
Yeah. They're not bad.
I hate them.
Yeah?
I hate it. It's disgusting. You can't cook them enough to make them crispy.
No, that's true. Well, you gotta bread them. That's the problem.
I've bought, like, cauliflower tots. Like, that's the only thing I've ever had. Which, I mean, you could say it's like cauliflower nuggets, whatever.
Yeah, it's probably the same.
Yeah, like it's. Yeah.
How funny would it be if the cauliflower wings came out and they were just cauliflower nuggets tossed in hot sauce?
Buffalo cauliflower. Well, I don't know if they called it cauliflower wings.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Buffalo cauliflower wings. What the hell?
I'm almost positive. I've got the menu on my phone. I'll double check later. But and then the other thing. You were looking for lemonade.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I wasn't even looking for it. I just automatically assumed they still had it, because like the last time I was there, like I wasn't going to Drafthouse frequently enough, but it was to the point where like I knew it was on the menu, and I had enough things there that I knew what I wanted to start with as food.
Yeah.
I'd mix things up, maybe if I wanted a burger or wings or the pizza. But I always knew what drink I was going to get. And if I was going to get something extra, I knew it was going to be the cookie shake.
That cookie shake did look incredible.
It's fantastic.
Hey, and I'm not going to lie, that Mexican vanilla one, bomb as fuck.
That's what you got, right?
I'm old school. Like, I love, like, one of my favorite flavors of ice cream is vanilla bean. I like it. It's simple. It's flavorful.
I like
dig
the vanilla bean frappe.
And that Mexican vanilla bean milkshake was badass. Like I wanted to try that instead of one of the fancier flavors.
I'm assuming that's what the cookie shake is, just with the cookie crumbles in it.
Yeah, probably.
Because it tastes like vanilla almost.
Like cookies and milk type
flavor. Kind of thing, but not so much that. Anyway, so like just for a brief explanation, I don't remember if I even explained it last time, but like the cookie shake essentially is like a malt shake with cookie crumbles in it.
Yeah. Thick shakes too.
THICC
yeah,
thick.
2 C's on that.
Yeah.
And they send proper milkshake straws,
Oh
big
my
old
God.
fat straws.
You don't get those anywhere else anymore. It's stupid, especially when you go somewhere like Whataburger
Yeah.
and you order milkshakes. They'll give you a regular old straw and let you suck your insides out.
Fucking dicks. I have 7-Eleven was sold when I lived in Odessa for a little while. They had Slurpee straws, and they're this big, about a nickel in size, and they're solid plastic, and about maybe a foot long, less than a foot long. So
That's a long straw.
I might be exaggerating, maybe like 6-7 inches.
Yeah.
But I would I bought a few of those, and I would go to Sonic.
Yeah.
And just get my milkshakes, bro.
That's a good idea. So, back to the disappointing menu of the Alamo Drafthouse post-pandemic.
So, like, while Josh is looking through the menu and trying to find things that don't exist anymore, I'm flipping through like, this is incredible.
Oh my God, look at the variety!
They got all these milkshakes. Look at all the pizzas.
Wow!
Like,
Golly!
I'm having a blast. Like, I'm in a comfortable seat. I'm waiting for a turn.
I wish there was a camera on both of us, because it's like polar opposite experiences where it's like the newcomer, like, wow, there's so many things, that I'm over here like, wow, there's so many not things anymore.
Yeah, they took all my good shit away.
So I didn't even look for it when she asked for the drinks, and like I just told her, she's like, well, what can I start with the drink? And Albert orders a water. Simple, okay. I'm like, I'll take a lemonade. And I remember telling Albert before ordering the lemonade,
The lemonade's so good.
I'm going to get the lemonade because it's really good. And for whatever reason, they make it with brown sugar, and that just hits different.
Yeah.
So, I don't even look for it to confirm that it still exists. I tell the lady, I'll take a lemonade. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't do that anymore.
Like, as soon as he says it to the waitress, I heard, because I remember him telling me, like, they make this different, and I was like, ooh, that sounds good. And then she broke both our hearts in one sentence, where she's like, we don't sell that now.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. We don't make that anymore.
Like,
why not?
She started saying,
what supply?
Change my menu.
What supply are you not getting enough of, where you decided, probably brown sugar.
Probably the brown sugar.
Probably.
And they made it with the white sugar and was like, it's not the same.
And people are going to know. They're going to know.
Yeah, they're going to know it's different. Or they were using that country crock shit.
I really wanted to ask about the buffalo wings.
Right. Just like, can you put some sauce on top of the chicken tenders?
Yeah, so like I was already like upset by the lemonade. And so as I went back to look at the drinks again, I was like, oh, all right, sweet tea.
Like, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, but, like, I got fish and chips, and because I like fish.
So, for whatever reason, they don't have a supply issue getting fish.
Right? Like, and my food literally came, like, 15, 20 minutes before yours did.
Yeah.
That made no fucking sense to me.
I was fine.
Industry,
I was okay with that.
Well, yeah, but as someone in the restaurant business, you're supposed to cook them so that they come out at the same fucking time.
Relatively the same time.
Yeah. Like, because I finished my food before yours ever got there.
Yeah.
So that's just as a cook.
That's the point of the movie, is to distract you.
Yeah, like as a like that bothered me because like whoever's in the back is amateur hour. Like you got to put this shit out better.
Maybe they're like, well, these 4 people also want fish and chips, so I'm
It's
just
possible.
gonna make this fish and chip with these 4 orders ahead.
That's true because I have no idea about what the
That's
state
silly,
of their
but,
kitchen is.
Yeah, that's silly, but
if they have a large enough kitchen with enough faculty back there, that shouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah, so I just ended up ordering the
small
chicken
nitpick.
tenders and fries, and those were good.
Fish and chips was good, although I shouldn't have been surprised that it was pre-done fish and shit.
No, yeah.
Like, because it's the perfect triangle and shit.
Oh, is that what it was?
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh.
It was obviously, like, a pre-made one. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like, it was still delicious, but with the type of food I saw next to me, because the dude next to me had a burger that if it wasn't handmade, I'll be very surprised.
Their burgers were fantastic.
Because it looked like a hand-pressed burger, at least from my naked eye.
Yeah.
So when the fish and chips came and it was this perfectly fried, perfectly flat triangle crisp, I was like, this is delicious, but...
Yeah, I think next time I go, I've never had the Royale with cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And I should get it, because it's a staple burger there, and it's a staple burger in cinema history.
Dude, if they don't have a Tarantino night and sell those exclusively.
That's all they have on their menu
Yeah.
is
Just for the Tarantino
or just food that was popular in Tarantino movies.
right? Like a quote. I'm using air quotes here, but a $5 milkshake.
Oh yeah.
Like, and actually, I should say again, thank you for paying for the food. How much are those milkshakes? Is it a $5 milkshake?
I don't remember.
I don't think it was. It may have been though. That was a badass milkshake.
I would say you could look at the menu, but
I'm not opening my fucking phone again.
I'm not touching my phone
I'm not
either.
fucking touching it, dude.
I'm not
We're
risking that.
15 minutes. I'm 2 seconds behind you exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not touching my phone at all.
Yeah.
I'm not even locking the fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That's why I said earlier you would get your iPad. You were bad.
I know. Well, and that's. I mean, we can talk about this off, but it's my phone has this battery saver that I have it in constantly, and when you lock the phone, it essentially shuts off all external signals other than cell phone signal and Wi-Fi, so that
I don't have that.
so
I mean,
that
I've
it
got
doesn't
battery
use.
saver, but I don't have that. So.
Well, it's like a different level of battery saver,
Yeah.
and I've got it at the max just to be cautious.
Yeah.
But it shuts off like your GPS signal and shit. Like I was telling you,
Yeah.
when I use my phone for GPS, if I lock that shit, my phone goes GPS signal lost and just screws me all up. Which really sucks if you, like me, shut off the notifications from the lady.
Yeah.
So she doesn't annoy you and talk over your speakers.
True.
And then you could just look at your phone and go, where the fuck? Why is it not working?
Oh man, it was so funny too because when it happened, you looked at your phone,
Yeah.
you were guffawed, hand over mouth. It was like, wait, what? Who died?
Yeah, it's like you just gasped, who died?
You just gasped, who died?
My podcast recording, and that's what died.
And so he turns his phone. I'm like, all right, who died? Leading it, and then I just see like it wasn't recorded. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we've got like 5 minutes of the first part of our conversation.
It was like 17 minutes, I think.
The whole thing's 17 minutes.
No,
No?
the recording that was.
Oh, that got cut off. Yeah. So
it was like 15, 17 minutes, and
Yeah.
then
we were talking about as long as we've been talking now.
yeah.
But God, that was so annoying. I was so mad. If there was a table for me to have flipped, I probably would have.
Oh God.
But when we got done with that, we were talking Eternals, which we just went and saw.
Okay, yeah. So we went and
Do
saw
we
the
want to try
Eternals
to
at
like
the
bullet
Drafthouse.
points it? Because
Huh?
we had a nice little in-depth conversation there. Do we want to kind of bullet points what we thought about the
Yeah.
movie?
I'll let you go first.
I enjoyed it, man. Like, I thought, knowing as little as that, like, because I'm not the biggest aficionado on the Eternals.
I was gonna say I would comfortably say we both don't know a whole lot, if anything,
Yeah.
about the Eternals. Like we know some of the characters, but outside of that, the story and everything and the relevance that they had at the time.
Yeah. Like, the
Their
most
story
I
arc.
did, before the movie came out, I found one of those videos that's like, here's who the Eternals are.
From
Here's why you
Emergency
should care.
Awesome.
It might have even been Emergency
Yeah.
Awesome, matter of fact. But just to give me an idea
Yeah,
of,
just
like,
to give you like a grounding of like
Yeah,
here are
yeah.
these characters.
because,
and
like,
this
I
is what they did.
I know who they are. Like, I know they're
Yeah.
ancient, created by blah, blah, blah. I know all that shit, like, but I wanted to have a
Yeah.
little better. And I really enjoyed, like, some of the tweaks they made. Like, not because of what the tweaks are, but because of, again, story possibilities
Yeah.
of opening the stories. Like, we talked about on the now probably Ghost podcast about the possibilities of the group being a copy of an original group of Eternals.
Oh yeah.
So the possibility of them being out there still somewhere, or when that group at the end, like Athena and Gilgamesh go out into space and end up finding Eros, another Eternal.
Yeah.
And what if when they go and find the other ones, it's more of them?
I was gonna say Eros. Is he an Eternal?
Yes.
Slaps.
At least as far as in the comics go, they haven't. We don't know
okay.
jack shit about the movies. In
I was
the
gonna say
comics,
because like he just says he's like Thanos' brother.
well, in the comics, the Titan is a planet that has Eternals on it. Like in the
Yeah.
comics, Eternals are an actual fucking race.
Yeah.
And Thanos is an Eternal with a deviant gene, and that's why he's purple. I don't think they're gonna go that route
No.
in the movies because that's a little comic booky and
I was
convoluted.
gonna say it's what I was saying earlier in our Now Ghost podcast. where everything that's lined up, they would have to retcon things because the Eternals in this movie served a purpose that was opposite of Thanos.
Well, that is true. That is true, but as we saw, there were Eternals in this group that shifted their ideals of what, or not shifted their ideals, but changed allegiances and like, fuck off, I don't want to do that. It's entirely possible that it was another case of, fucked up wiring somewhere, because if they are synthezoids, or whatever the fuck they want to call it. I keep saying synthezoid because Vision is a synthezoid.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like, the Eternals in this movie are robots, and they make sure to clarify that they are indeed, like, essentially space robots.
Yeah. Like, he's the closest example to them that I can think of.
Thanos isn't a space robot.
How do we know?
He got his head cut off. You didn't see any wires and sparks and whatnot.
Did he turn gray?
No.
No? Okay, then he's probably not a space robot.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Is like they're going to have to retcon things. If
that was a clue that we didn't pick up on, by the way.
What?
They turned gray like Vision did when he died.
Oh, yeah.
That was a clue I didn't pick up on until afterwards.
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense, I guess. No.
I'm thinking that's a subtle hint at us.
I was going to say, because like,
when Vision had the stone ripped out of his head, he immediately turned gray. When they found Ajax's body, she was gray. Whenever they start killing other motherfuckers, I was going to
say it was like a different type of gray, though. But yeah,
wait, a different type of gray?
It was
gray.
There was different like aesthetic to it and whatnot. So yeah.
Okay.
Because I was just
because they have skin and hair.
Well, maybe? I'm sitting here thinking like why would they both turn gray if they're not made by the same thing?
Well, it doesn't have to be made by the same thing. Like it could be just a similar visual language, like.
Or just a similar effect of what happens when their mechanical body shuts down. Is like it stops producing quote-unquote color to their shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all it is a similar visual trick to supplant in the audience's mind that something different is there.
Callback or something.
Yeah. And that's the stuff I'm talking about when, like, we had this. I'm not going to get into an argument about Loki again, but I just want to bring this up. When we talked about the difference between reading a detailed synopsis and watching the thing, there are things that movies are a visual medium, so there's 4 dimensions of shit to be looking at as opposed to reading the script even.
Right.
That's the type of stuff that you miss. Not you specifically, but
but just in general.
In general, that you miss when you're not watching the thing is the little details that are thrown
like
in
the
there.
visual details.
Visual details and background shit, and that's the fun of rewatching shit for me is the stuff that was thrown in there that you don't catch the first time.
Yeah. Well, like for me, I'm in a mindset now where it's like I'll watch a movie, and if I know it's a movie that's like more. It's got to focus on the story instead of just like comedy
just
type
pretty,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll watch it and try to pay attention as best as I can to the story or what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
And then if I like it, then I'll go back and watch it again at some point, or I'll find some revalue to it.
Yeah. See,
like John Wick, I've seen those movies. God, I don't know how many times.
Right.
First one's a great movie, simple story. I know what happens every time I watch it, but it's pretty to watch.
It's fun to watch.
It's a fun movie to watch.
It helps that everything, almost everything, top to bottom of that about the John Wick movies is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, everything's just like the detail is in the choreography and the acting.
Oh yeah,
because the story is just straight.
Fuck
like there's nothing convoluted about it. There's no like, I don't know. There's nothing you got to look really deep into or whatever.
Yeah, well, and
that's the joy of it for me is like it's a complex world with a straight story.
Well, and for the comparison, since we've been on the Marvel stuff, like Wick has the benefit of not having a prehistory for them to delve into, so they can like.
Well, it's got a prehistory that leaves it up to the viewer to kind of build in their own mind.
What I mean is there's not years of books, TV shows, comic books, something about it.
There's no other format it was adapted from.
Exactly. Yeah. So that fans already know the shit, so you're able to take a story and just give it to the audience and let them figure shit out, and then we might flesh stuff out later. But John Wick 1, like you're saying, is such a artfully done like visual storytelling.
I was gonna say, despite all the killing and the hard R rating,
I would call it a masterful
art movie.
Like, they did so much world building just in the background and the visual language of that film before the sequel came out that if they didn't know where they were going in the sequel, the fact that they were just like, oh, we can turn that into this and it works, like, that's the fucking that's the cool shit about
that. I was gonna say, like, you could pick up on the second one and not even know what happens in the first one.
Don't even need it.
Like, the second and third movie are like partners.
No.
But like, in terms of like, you know, let's say John Wick 2 comes out. Do I need to watch John Wick 1? Not really.
Has 3 come out yet?
Yeah, 3 came out 2018, I think. They just finished wrapping up John Wick 4.
See, I thought it was... Okay, so John Wick 1 was... or John Wick 2 was him going and killing the sister of that dude, right?
Yeah, the guy came to him, wanted him to kill the sister.
You're right,
he blew up the house. He had to go to Rome.
I gotcha. I remember Parabellum.
And then 3 is John on the run.
I gotcha.
After he shot the brother on the grounds or whatever.
I remember that now.
So, I don't want this to get like franchised out and drug out to BS.
Right. I hope 4 kind of ends Wick's thing.
I hope so too. And if I remember, I think
we're getting a Continental TV show.
Yeah, we're getting a Continental that's like a pre-sequel.
Yeah, or it's a prequel.
Yeah. But I think there's going to be John Wick 4 and 5. And I think they filmed those almost back to back.
Did
almost.
They? I could be wrong. It's a smart way to do it.
I would look on my phone, but I don't want to risk that right now.
Right. It'd be the smart way to do it. It's like it's like how they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy in the holiday special. They're filming those at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah. I just like
save money.
I would be okay if they end John Wick's story, and then if there's enough interest in the world of John Wick,
pick up with a new character.
They could just pick up literally anywhere within that world.
Well, I like the idea of them doing a prequel of like, because there is so much cool shit that could be done with that world.
Yeah. To
like flesh out how the crime family or the organization got to be a thing.
I was gonna say, because like even in the first movie, like with As Enjoyable As, you're left with a lot of questions if you're thinking about it a little too long. It was like, why are they? What's the monetary value of these coins that they use in this underworld?
One coin will buy you a hotel room. It's like Old West math.
Oh yeah,
like what's that fucking? I think it's
like you could pay somebody off with one coin. You can buy a hotel room for a week with one coin at the specific spot.
Yeah, I think there's a Louis C.K. joke talking about.
You can hire somebody to help you out to bury a body with.
And everything costs a single coin.
You get into a place with one coin.
Yeah.
like there's a couple times.
I think he even paid that doctor that came and stitched him up a coin. Like it was. I don't think it was part of the fucking care package that first coin got him.
I
think he
remember.
Slipped him a coin when he left too.
Well, I'm just thinking about like all the times a coin was involved in some sort of monetary transaction or an agreement of
the
sort.
tailor and at the bar.
Yeah, because there's like okay, so yeah, like in the second movie. He gives them like more than one coin for like the guns, and then when he went to go get the suits tailored, and like when he's getting information on the layouts and blueprints of these places, like they don't tell you like what the denomination or value of each of these scenarios are.
Yeah. And that's the fun world building I like of a show or a movie like that is the fact that there's apparently this underground syndicate of shops for assassins.
Yeah.
To where even the fucking hobos are assassins.
Oh, yeah.
Like...
Yeah. Okay, so like at the end of 2, when like everybody starts getting the text message that John Wick is about to, like he's got 24 hours before a contract goes into full effect.
Excommunicado.
Yeah, like he's excommunicado, but he's got 24 hours to get on the run.
Yeah.
And so he's in Central Park, and the guy's like, all right, you got this X amount of time because I'm being generous. And then he starts walking away, and the organization sends out the text message, and literally every single goddamn person in Central Park, which is a fifth less than the people that are typically there. I've been in New York one time in my life, and I've been to Central Park one time, and I've been to that specific spot that they were at because of John Wick. I was like, I want to go to the Bethesda fountain because it looks great in the movie, and I want to see it in person. Also, they filmed the intro to Friends over at this other spot close by.
I want to go over there and clap.
I want to get into the clap. Anyway, so Bethesda Fountain was beautiful, by the way. But you go to, I think we were, well, I guess we were there on the weekend, maybe. Yeah.
Who'd you go with? The
I went with my ex, yeah. And it was 2018? Yeah.
Oh, I remember when you went to New York.
Place is packed. Place is dummy packed. And there's just random things going on.
Yeah.
So, like, what you see in the movie, of course, is like...
Yeah, it's a Hollywood version.
Yeah, but it's also, like, at the peak of morning, so I don't know.
Also, if everyone in that Central Park was an assassin, perhaps...
So that's my point. That is my point. There's still a good number of people in that park. Not as much as there typically is in real life. But every single person, when they start getting the text message that, you know, John Wick is on contract to kill, every single person you see, whether it's the foreground or in their front, people are looking at their phone, looking at John Wick running through the park.
I would have loved one extra in there to not pick it up and just look around like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, just like some random person walking through, getting their morning exercise, and then he sees everybody else get text
phone around him
messages.
start going off, and he's like, should I check my phone?
He pulls out his phone to check it, nothing's happening, he's like, what's going on? And then he sees everybody look at this one guy running away in the foreground.
One dude and his
he's running away
just hauling ass.
Yeah.
Who looks like hammered on shit because he's just covered in blood.
He looks like he spent way too goddamn long at the office.
Is he carrying a gun?
Yeah. But it's so funny because, like...
Oh my god. So we're getting John Wick 4 and possibly 5 also?
I believe so.
Is 5 confirmed? Or
I believe 5 is confirmed. If I remember right, 5 is being filmed almost back to back with 4.
Is it? I wonder if it's still coming out like the same month as Matrix.
I think 4 is.
Did you hear that's what they changed the title to?
What?
Matrix.
Just Matrix?
Matrix.
Not the Matrix 4?
No.
Or Matrix 4?
No.
I thought it was like the Matrix 4 something.
Is it?
The last I heard.
It's yes. It's like Resurrection.
Okay, so it's not Matrix 4 Resurrection, or is it?
I think it's just Matrix Resurrection.
Okay.
We'll have to double check, but yeah,
okay.
The subtitle Resurrection. Now that you were mentioning it, but I remember before they announced the subtitle when the trailer dropped, because I think that was when they did it.
I wish they weren't making a 4. It doesn't need it.
It doesn't. That was a pretty tight story.
2 was half-assed. 3.
But the trailer looks neat, man. Like,
yeah.
It looks like they planted his ass in the new Matrix, because they made a new Matrix at the end of the third one.
Yeah.
It looks like he's implanted into that shit.
But the majority of people who like the Matrix movies don't like 3.
Well, no, that's true. I mean, but I'm still of the mind that people just like to bitch. They literally had a Deus Ex Machina in that movie. How hilarious is that?
Yeah.
Like, it got pretty convoluted by the end. But it's a movie.
Like,
it's
in
a
the
show
second
about the one.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say, because like the first movie was such a hit, they immediately got an inflated ego, and you start to see that in the second one where it becomes like really pretentious.
Right, the Merovingian scene.
Yeah,
where he makes a woman orgasm by eating pie.
Yeah.
And that's not a euphemism, by the way.
No, that's literally what happens.
A bite of pie, and they show it the green like Matrix vision. They show the bite going from her mouth down her esophagus, and when it hits her belly, they zoom in on her crotch, and it lights up like she just had an orgasm. It's so stupid.
She got that warm fuzzy feeling.
It's so stupid.
But
I think he's even coming back.
Who?
Merovingian. The actor that played him. I think that character's coming back.
Remember.
I feel like I saw him in the trailer for a split second.
I think I've seen the trailer twice. Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris is in it.
Oh, God.
How great is that? Neil Patrick Harris. Doogie Howser.
God. Why?
Why was Doogie Howser the first one that came to mind, not Barney Stinson? Or that one bit character from Harold and Kumar,
I don't
Neil
remember
Patrick
his
Harris.
Oh yeah, didn't he just
Yeah,
play
he's
an
just Neil Patrick
exaggerated?
Harris.
Yeah, I was like, wait, didn't he just play an exaggerated version of himself?
Yeah, he just played Neil Patrick Harris, but a aggressively heterosexual Neil Patrick Harris, who was dry humping car seats
Everything.
and shit.
Yeah.
And not car seats like the baby seat, like a seat in a car.
But yeah, just like
It would have fit that character though if he was just an empty car seat.
I'm just more worried about the politics that are going to get involved because now we've essentially got quote unquote new people making this movie.
No, it's the same people.
Nuh-uh.
It's the same.
It's the
people.
Wachowski sisters.
It's the same. It's not like they're different people though.
They might as well be.
If you say so. I will say that they're different people in the sense that when did those movies come out? Early 2000s?
First Matrix movie I think came out in 99.
99?
And
So
I think Matrix 3 was like
well, let's just go from 99. Like they've
2005.
the Wachowskis have come out and said that now, and I don't know how accurate this is. This could just be them saying it for the headline. You know what I'm about to say.
It's the Matrix is a euphemism.
Was an allegory for
it's an allegory
for transgenderism or being different or whatever the fuck.
I think
she said.
I think they specifically said it was
For transgenderism?
For transgenderism, yeah.
Excuse me.
Which,
but in the sense that it's been 20 years.
It's a stupid fucking cop out.
It is. I agree. Like unless they can, if you can show me, like I'm not saying that they're lying.
No.
But if you can show me something, anything, where you suggested that in 99 when you were making the fucking movie.
I think I could make that argument.
I could make it too, but I didn't make the movie. I could.
you could literally apply almost any argument to any movie. You can make up bullshit.
Yeah, it's not hard, but I would like for them to elaborate because
Lord of the Rings is an allegory for racism.
You know what? Them orcs did nothing wrong.
They were just trying to live.
Yeah, trying to live. So they were uglier than you.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Just because their skin was darker?
Yeah, and their ears were pointier and their teeth were a little fucked up and they like to murder things and eat them.
Weird.
Whatever. Racists.
Like I said.
But I mean, and I'll give you this. It's been 20 years and now they are transgender. So in a sense, they are different people.
Yeah, but they're trying to stay relevant is the issue.
It is.
Because they've had floppy movies.
What else? Oh, they did Speed Racer. That's right.
Well,
what else have they done?
They did
Matrix and Speed Racer.
Speed Racer and what was that?
Speed Racer looked incredible, by the way.
What was that?
I can't tell you the story.
What was that Mila Kunis, Channing Tatum shit movie that they did?
Was that them too?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
God, what was it?
Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, they did that. That movie was hot garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't very good.
There was one other one that they did that was actually good. Damn.
See, you've already introduced me to one movie that I have seen and did not know they did.
Yeah.
So anything else you're about to say is going to be surprising for me. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what they try to do with this fourth one. I hope it'll be good.
Yeah.
I agree with you though. They should have just stopped at 3 because I felt that was a good ending. Like he turns into.
I'm gonna look it up right quick.
Be careful.
Yeah.
I don't think it was me going off the app that screwed it up. I do think it was me locking the phone, so you should be fine. But I'm excited to see like what kind of direction they could take the franchise in, or the not even the franchise.
Okay,
I would like for 4. I hope 4 is the last one. Like we don't need more Matrix.
We didn't need 4.
We don't need it. But since we're getting it, I'm hoping they fucking stop at it. Like I would like if Matrix 4 is a nice bookend, because I thought they already had it. But like you said, a lot of people fucking hated 3.
Yeah.
So maybe they're gonna try to fix.
V for Vendetta. They did V for Vendetta.
The Wachowskis did V for Vendetta?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. I don't know who I thought did that movie.
Cloud Atlas, V for Vendetta.
Cloud Atlas?
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie. That's the Wachowskis?
Yeah. I didn't see it. I just heard it was meh.
That movie's okay, man. Like, I like it. It's different. It's a little confusing, but I've seen it a couple times. I've really liked
Ninja
that
Assassin. Movie. I remember that movie. It was an okay flick.
If you haven't seen Cloud Atlas, check it out. I think it's on Netflix or something.
They did Sense 8. That was that
Netflix series. Yeah, I never watched that.
Yeah, that was a big old LGBT.
Was it?
Advertisement, essentially. Like, I heard the first season was good, but then it trended on the usual Netflix thing where, like, after the first season, the series went to hot shit. And I'm not saying it went to hot shit because of the LGBT stuff, but it's a trend now for Netflix series like it was Altered Carbon. Loved the first season. It was fantastic. Second season? Crap.
Yeah, but I don't think... It wasn't crap because of, like, forced LGBT stuff. It was just crap because the writing was not as solid.
Yeah, it was just shit because they tried to do different things, and then I don't remember what else.
Well, I really think that the fault there was the writing took a little bit of a hit. Like, I'm not going to say that it was...
I was going to say the overall quality went to poop.
I don't think it was garbage, but it definitely suffered a quality dip.
Yeah.
But I think a part of it had to do with changing the actor. Not changing the actor, but Mackie specifically. And again, before I say this, there's nothing wrong with Anthony Mackie. I think he's a good actor.
Anthony Mackie is a good actor who is at...
He's a damn good actor.
He's a good actor, but he just happens to get attached to projects with bad writers.
Well, and for me, like, I'm not even going to dog the writing too much, because it did take a dip, but it didn't, like, for me at least, it didn't just go into the garbage. It just wasn't as strong. For me, the thing that made it weaker was Mackie's performance as the lead, where in the former season, you know, if you're unfamiliar with Altered Carbon, everybody's consciousness is on a little chip, and they can upload it from one body to another. They call them sleeves. The actor Joel Kinnaman, that guy Joel Kinnaman, was in season 1, and when they cut back between Kinnaman and the guy playing the actual person,
I was going to say the original person,
the guy who's on the chip, Kovic. When they cut back the actor playing Kovic, it's Kinnaman does a really good job of the same type of mannerisms.
I was going to say that was the issue, is like,
and Mackie didn't.
Yeah, so that was the big thing for me, was like how well they were able to emulate between William Lee's Kovic, who's the original Kovic, and then his memory, because I think he gets imprisoned or something, right? I think that was a setup for it. Yeah, he gets imprisoned, and then it's like hundreds of years later, and his consciousness is uploaded to a new sleeve, and it's Joel Kinnaman's body.
Yeah. Well, and like it highlights it even worse in season 2 when like he jumps around a couple bodies. Yeah. And some of those actors do a better job at emulating Kovic's mannerisms than Mackie does.
Yeah, I was going to say, because like in the first episode of the first season, Kovic is like in a female body. Yeah. And so like it starts out like they're acting not like Kovic.
Yeah.
But then when everything goes up and then it's revealed that it is Kovic, then you can see the mannerisms play out.
As soon as that woman revealed that it was Kovic, she just kind of, like, I'm not going to say her whole demeanor changed, but just the way she spoke and the way she moved,
mannerisms and stuff.
It was close enough that you went, oh, damn, okay, cool.
Yeah, you could see it.
Yeah, but Mackie, there's a few moments where Mackie does great. Yeah. But overall in that series, it was like, come on, man, did you watch the first season?
It didn't feel like you were watching Kovic.
Yeah, like, his performance was fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to the level I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Especially when your other actors...
And it made me miss Joel Kinnaman so much more.
I thought he did phenomenal, man.
I loved him because he made the show for me. And I was like, I was already interested in the show because it was a cyberpunk genre.
Yeah.
And like you get the Blade Runner vibes and stuff, like a little bit into it, like you kind of understand the world later. And then like Joel Kinnaman, he plays like, I won't say stoic.
I don't know. It's kind of
it's like a semi-stoic character.
Yeah. Like, he's wisecracky, but he's very straight.
Yeah, I was gonna
straight
say.
man kind of
Yeah,
performance.
he's straightforward character, but like he's got depth to him.
Yeah, I loved the character of Poe.
Oh yeah,
The robot the AI butler.
Yeah, the
fucking
second
love that
season?
character. Or the first season.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I love that
I
character.
forget because I'm getting like parts of it mixed up.
There needs to be more of that show. Like, give me more of that show.
Altered Carbon.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if they could like go back and fix it, yeah.
I mean, I think the problem was Mackey's performance,
Yeah.
and again, nothing about Mackey as an actor was bad. It was just he wasn't quite hitting the levels we wanted.
Well, like we knew at some point there was going to be a different actor taking over the role of Kovic because, like in the first season, his whole thing is like, I need to get my old body back.
But at the end of season 2, they have Kovic back.
Yeah, like the original Kovic is alive.
The actor playing the original guy, and I think it's like a clone or something. Like they made a clone of his sleeve.
Yeah.
And put young Kovic into it.
Yeah.
Like a backup copy of his consciousness or some shit. That guy, as the lead for a third season, would be phenomenal.
I think that's what they were trying to set up.
Until they got canceled.
I don't know if it got canceled, did it? I don't
It's
think
been
it's
a while since season 2 came out. If it's not canceled,
yeah,
it's
but it was
probably
a
up in the
while
air.
between season 1 and season 2 also.
Was it?
That's another Netflix thing.
Yeah, that's true. Fucking
Like they can do a great first season of a show and then just draw it out to shit.
Jupiter's Legacy. Jupiter's Legacy was fucking great.
How many
the superhero
seasons is
show?
that?
1.
Oh yeah, and it got canceled.
Yeah, canceled immediately.
Yeah.
Which made no fucking sense to me.
Yeah,
Did you watch it?
No, I heard it was good
Dude,
though.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
That first season made me go and buy the comics.
Yeah.
Like, when I got done with the first season, I was like, what the fuck, what happens next? So I went and bought the comics and read them all. And then when maybe a month after I did that, Netflix was like, canceled. Fuck you, Netflix.
Why? We don't know.
Yeah, like you don't have the money.
Yeah, there was a lot of shows that they've canceled that they never give us specific answers to why they were canceled.
Yeah. Like, you're going to keep making some of the bullshit shows you make and cancel something that had balls.
Well, I was going to say one of the reasons, too, that I recently discovered as to why some of these shows get canceled is because they can't build a market around it enough that would appeal to a wide variety of audience.
Gotcha.
Because it's like the 80s cartoon / Disney effect, where they made the product, then built the show and everything else around it.
Yeah.
And that's what they're still trying to do. That's what Disney at least is still trying to do.
Yeah. And that's annoying.
Yeah, because like, it's like you can develop a character and then the world around it without being shit.
Yeah.
Like John Wick, for example.
That's true. That's a fucking perfect example.
Going back to John Wick, you could make a great video game out of it. You can do a book series based on the world of John Wick.
Yep.
And like there is monetary value to the world of that franchise.
Yeah, which is why I think that's why we're getting a series, a prequel series.
Yeah.
Is because people are like, give me more.
Yeah, they want more
but
of the
Keanu Reeves can only
backstory.
do so much.
Yeah.
Here's a thought. What if, like, we talked about this on the Ghost podcast with Ritas, which I think we should just call this episode, like, Ghostbusters or some shit like that. Because, I don't know, we'll come up with a clever name by the time we post this.
We fucked up.
Right. But Ritas coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe potentially with Walking Dead ending after this season, it opens up the right type of time frame, the right type of what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Right circumstances.
Oh yeah.
For Ritas to join.
He's also getting kind of old.
He is.
He's like fit, isn't he? Like,
I think he's in his late 40s.
I was gonna say if he's not in
Mid
his
to late 40s.
Yeah.
Because we're still expecting, we still might be getting Boondock Saints 3.
Yeah, they reconfirmed that again.
They reconfirmed that recently.
God damn.
But what I was getting at is
52.
Okay, see, I thought he's older than I thought he was.
I was thinking 52, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, anyway.
Where I'm going with that is, as you mentioned, they're filming 4 and 5 for John Wick back to back.
Yeah.
And we know that Marvel has pitched multiple characters to Keanu Reeves over the years, and they've just never agreed on anything.
Yeah.
What if? Let's do our own what if and ponder the question. What if? What if Keanu Reeves is knocking out all of these movies back to back to back? Matrix, Wick 3 and 4,
so
or 4 and 5.
Free time to do Marvel.
Yes. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I still think that him as Silver Surfer would be incredible. Namor would be an incredible grab for him, because we might be getting Namor.
I was going to say, you got to keep...
They've already cast Namor.
Oh, did they?
Namor's cast.
Who's playing Namor?
And the Asian dude.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Okay, I remember now. I forget his name too, but yeah.
But Keanu, I think the smartest route to go with him would be a character that, like Silver Surfer, where he can bring that, because his voice, he's got a great voice. He's got that kind of, not ominous, but like that all-knowing kind of sense to his voice when he speaks. Like, listen to, like, I was about to say,
Word, I forget.
He's got a presence about his voice when he speaks.
He's got a strong voice.
And I think that stoicism that he can add to it would be really great for somebody like the Surfer. But I mean, there's other shit he could do too. I said Beyonder about what's his name, Schwarzenegger earlier, but fucking Keanu Reeves as like playing a Bill and Ted-esque Beyonder.
Oh God!
Like being a little goofy with it.
That would
be excellent to each other. Like,
I mean, it would go in theme with what they're trying to do now, which is just ask backwards. They don't know what.
Well, no, because the Beyonder was a Jerry Curl, like fucking jazz suit or disco suit wearing character. He was already super goofy when he was introduced. Like, just let Keanu have fun and be goofy. Like, that would be funny to me. And I think that would be an interesting take of, like, what's his name? Okay, did you ever see Lucky Logan? Channing Tatum and Adam Driver robbing the Daytona 500?
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw it once.
Okay,
but
Daniel Craig is in that movie as a demolitions expert.
Yeah.
And he's, like, from seeing him as James Bond to seeing him as this high-pitched redneck demolitions expert and just having what appeared to be having a fucking blast in that role.
Yeah.
That, but with Keanu. Like, where he's able to just crank it up and be as silly as he wants.
How funny would it be if Keanu Reeves comes to the MCU? Now, you know they had a failed Hulu series called Hailstorm.
Yeah. Which I've seen Hailstorm. That's not
Yeah,
not
Hailstorm.
terrible.
What if Keanu comes into the MCU and plays Hailstorm? He's just Constantine again.
Like Constantine, but for the Marvel.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't hate that. I mean, I don't see them bringing Hellstrom in for any reason other than potentially the Midnight Suns thing we might be getting.
I was gonna say because Hellstrom got canceled.
Yeah, Hellstrom got canceled,
and it made no reference to the MCU whatsoever.
It did not. And you know what?
And it was
Wait, did you watch it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think it was that bad.
I didn't think it was bad for what it was.
Yeah.
But
like it was creepy. They got good creep factor.
It had a good creep factor, but they diverted so much from the source material.
Yeah, the thing that cracked me up was like you could tell where their budget came into play.
Yeah.
Because Hellstrom would stand there and stare intently at something, and then a shelf would fall.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, pull the string.
It was the goofiest looking shit to where I was watching it with a friend of mine, and I was into the show.
Yeah, me too.
I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is fucking dope. And then it gets to one of those moments where he stares intently at a bad guy, and then literally a metal shelf with just some stuff falls on the guy, and it's a demon. It's a demon who has magical powers, and you're just hitting him with a shelf, an aluminum shelf at that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, the pain.
Oh, no.
Off. You could have, I could use Adobe After Effects and give him Superman heat vision that would have looked better than that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not even a visual effects guy, but I guarantee I could have made it look cooler than that shit.
Oh, God.
I think that would be a good idea, but you'd have to find a good way to bring him in, like Midnight Suns, perhaps, because I think we might be leading down that road if it's not movie or series.
Well,
because you've got Blade showing up at the end of Eternals, which I do want to make fun of that with you in a second.
Okay.
Blade showing up at the end of Eternals for the Black Knight.
Uh-huh.
Moon Knight is now
Confirmed.
and been shown. Did you see that shit?
I've only seen a still where it's his hand planted on the ground.
Okay, that dude.
I didn't see a full. Like,
It's-
if there
it's
was
not
like
a
a
full
full
trailer.
outfit or anything.
There, no.
Okay.
The closest you get, it's like a teaser. They
Yeah.
have this thing on Disney Plus, which I'll show you after we get done with this.
Uh-huh.
They have this thing on Disney Plus where it's like a fucking 8-minute, 10-minute video.
Yeah.
Where the
I heard
first
about
half
it.
of it is a recap of everything that Disney Plus has done. So WandaVision, Loki, Falcon Winter Soldier, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, they show a nice little extended look at Hawkeye, like a good 1.5, 2-minute video.
Yeah.
And which it's a chopped up version of the scene in the trailer where they're going in the car and Kate's shooting, and she's like, "You have more dangerous arrows than that," and it's Hawkeye flipping through trick arrows and shit. It's a slightly extended of that, and it's really fun. But they show off some of Miss Marvel. They show off some She-Hulk, which She-Hulk looks fucking fun, dude.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen a still from it.
Okay, well, again, I'll show you these videos when we're done. But She-Hulk looks super fun. Like, it looks like, because they've described it as a legal comedy or a legal dramedy, I guess, because it's going to be funny, but it's also a superhero show, and they're going to try to lean into the legal side because she's a lawyer. Blah blah blah. But like, they show a quick snippet of She-Hulk from behind, like she lands on something and they go from her feet to like maybe
Midway, like you could see
shoulder
her
area.
arms and stuff.
You can see her legs. And she's green. She's wearing the purple and white suit.
I was gonna say she's wearing
Dude,
like a very close,
very
iconic,
comic accurate.
Yeah.
Like, at least from what it appears.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, damn, they're going for this shit.
which
Phase
kind of
4 comes in the superhero suits, baby.
I was gonna say it relieved me that they went with that She-Hulk and not this new
the Hulk version of her.
Hulk She-Hulk.
She-Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Of course, we might see that as well. Because I don't mind that as being like a Super Saiyan.
I was gonna say,
where
I could see them doing that.
Where it comes up periodically, but fucking Hulk is in the show. They show him for a second, and it's Hulk. It ain't Banner.
Yeah.
Banner's in it too, looking
Isn't
very
it Smart
goofy.
Hulk though?
Yeah. Well, he's still. It's not like he's gonna regress. I mean,
no, because
and I have a theory about that. I'm sorry.
well,
to
no,
interrupt you.
I was gonna say, wasn't in Shang-Chi
he
shows up and he's Banner again?
Well, and they've shown him as Banner in the little sneak peek as well.
Yeah.
Here's my thought. What if in the show,
Which
if he's
one?
not
She-Hulk?
She-Hulk, what if, I don't know, because his arm looks healed in the show, so maybe he's just better and can go back and forth.
Healed, yeah.
But what if they do a version of that story from the comics where they split, and there's Banner and Hulk?
I could kind of see it.
Like, that was my first thought with Shang-Chi, Banner being in the sling.
Yeah.
And then seeing stills of Hulk not like that. Like, well, fuck, what if they split?
I was
and
going to say,
healed up?
and then you also have the Banner from What If, where he's staying with Doctor Strange and he's become a monk of some sort.
What?
Yeah.
What if did you watch?
I watched the What If where, like, he's, like, in monk garb.
That's because he crashed into their house and they
No,
gave
but,
him
like, he's got,
clothes.
like, hand wraps and stuff, like
'cause
he's
he
been
crashed
training.
and stole their clothes.
So he's going to
It's
put on the
it's
hand
the
wraps?
zombie one? The zombie one's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, he crashed into their building. Nobody was there, so he stole clothes. He comes out of that building dressed like them. Because he was like hulked out and shit.
And he's gonna wrap his hands.
Fuck, I didn't draw the shit, but I'm telling you, there's not a single episode of that show where he trained. What you're talking about is when he crashed into the sanctum and he comes out with clothes on. But I don't think we're gonna go that route in terms of them splitting. But that was my first thought. Was like, that'd be
it'd be nice to have like OG Hulk back and have like an actual Hulk.
If they split, I could see Hulk regressing. Like I don't think they would go the regression route without a big story-focused reason.
Yeah.
Like something happening to him to make him go World Breaker.
Yeah.
Which I still want to see World Breaker before Ruffalo's contract is up. We're not going to. We're not gonna. But I want to see, like...
Because, like, Ruffalo at this point as a banner, too, is getting kind of annoying.
Well, like, okay, here's an idea. If we can get... If Marvel and Disney can get the contract from Universal fixed or
they can do,
up,
like, a solo Hulk feature.
With Black Widow, they did a movie set set a few years before. Do the same shit and just give us Ragnarok Hulk.
You saw how that turned out.
I thought it was good. My point is not the movie itself.
Yeah.
My point is they have the ability to jump back and go, here's a story we didn't tell you. And show, here's Hulk landing on Sakaar and becoming the champion that he becomes. Then you can still get the World Breaker Hulk story to a degree and have him go full on breaking shit for the Collector. Because then it's going to be difficult enough because he didn't get banished. You don't have the setup.
No,
you don't have the setup of World Breaker Hulk.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's...
But you can give us a flavor of that because, like you said, we have not gotten full-on Hulk very much. We've gotten a couple teases of it.
Yeah.
But we've not gotten full-on murderous
Hulk.
Hulk.
Best Hulk we got was in Ragnarok.
Yeah. So I would love to see if they can figure that out, a way to give us that story of what happened to Hulk in between Ultron and Ragnarok. Because,
but look how long it's been since those events happened. Is anybody really going to care?
How long was it between Black Widow and Civil War?
For like 5 years.
How long has it been since Ragnarok?
3.
It was right before Infinity War.
It was like 3 years? 2 years?
See? What's
3
your
years.
argument? It's the same amount of time.
Nobody had any high...
Nobody gave a fuck about Black Widow either.
Exactly!
But the movie still did well.
No!
Yeah,
it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. Actually, no, it didn't. It did not. I found out just recently, during that quarter, Disney lost $63 million.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that'll probably have to do more with theaters.
Oh, yeah.
Theaters versus streaming.
Yeah.
I think that'll have a big part to play in it. As the fucking lawsuit came to say.
Yeah.
But I think there's a place for those type of movies. There's an audience that would like to see them. And I think Marvel has that opportunity to do it with something like Disney Plus.
If they're going to do a Hulk movie, they need to make it not in accordance to,
they need to
everything that was going on back then. If they're going to do a Hulk
comics or the movies?
In the movies.
Okay.
Because, you're going to have people who want to go back and watch these movies chronologically.
Mm.
And if you go and watch... I still haven't watched Black Widow, but there's continuity issues where you have an established timeline of things, and then you want to go back and insert something between two major events.
There can be if you don't do it carefully. If you don't take care of what you're doing.
Yeah, of course. But it's the thing with Hulk is we're at a point now where we got a Hulk that both people weren't really hyped about and they didn't do a whole lot with. So if we're going to go back and insert a Hulk that everybody wanted, then when you're going back and watching it in continuity, you're going to be like, what the fuck happened?
Well, but that's why I'm saying using the Ragnarok or the Sakaar storyline to do it, because one, he's off planet, so you can let him get as crazy as he wants to. You don't have to worry about something like in the Eternals, a giant fucking stone person sticking out of the Atlantic Ocean.
You can, but you've also got to
And that's the Hulk everybody wants to see again, is that 3 words per movie, smashing everything.
Dumb, strong Hulk.
Yeah.
Big muscles, tiny brain.
You've got, Hulk was on Sakaar for like 5 years in Sakaar time.
Yeah.
He was on Sakaar for a while. So, like, there's so much time in there. If you really want to give us a World Breaker Hulk type story, there's so much time in there to do it with.
Yeah, but you gotta make it make sense to where, like...
What do you mean make it make sense? Like, I'm not saying give us the actual World Breaker story.
Yeah, I know that, but it's like you can't be putting in events to where Hulk got to a point where he got this strong, this big, whatever.
No,
and then have it regress and not make sense.
What do you mean regress? Like, he learned to talk on Sakaar. He became the champion of the people, and people knew him and celebrated him and shit. He became a hero on that planet. That's a story that would be interesting to figure out how he got there.
I feel like there would be a convoluted point where it's like, how did we get this Hulk, but he somehow couldn't tap into that Hulk in Infinity War and Endgame?
What you're saying, like the World Breaker type Hulk?
Like, if we got, like, even the Hulk we got in Sakaar, like in Ragnarok. Like, if we try to add events before that, like leading up to that, you got to be careful with how you're telling that story.
True.
Because then you're going to have people who are like, how come we couldn't get this Hulk in Infinity War and Endgame?
Well, in Infinity War, it's that one's easy to explain because he just refused to come out. That's why he's not in that movie.
But why?
Because he got his fucking ass handed to him by Thanos. That's the general consensus.
Yeah,
he was scared.
It's Hulk, though.
And Hulk has been able to defeat everything that ever came before him. And then this fucking grimace-looking bitch shows up and hands him his ass in 30 seconds.
Thor kicked his ass.
It's true.
So, why didn't he get this PTSD from Thor?
Because he had already punched him. He's fine. No. I don't know. That's the general consensus, is that something about Thanos scared Hulk. Is like, or not scared him, but he was like, you know what? Fuck it. Fight your own fucking battle.
To some extent.
Because he's like, come on, help me, Hulk.
I mean,
and he just comes out and goes, no.
They could try to put a bandage on that going forward.
But also, if you're talking he got his ass beat by Thor, every time he gets... They've had two actual fights in the MCU. If you count the thing on the plane, or on the helicarrier in Avengers 1.
Yeah.
And in Avengers 1, Thor didn't beat him. They fought almost to a stalemate, and he got distracted by an airplane because it shot at him, and he jumps away. And in Ragnarok, they're fighting essentially again to a standstill, and the Collector cheats and zaps Thor. So he didn't actually lose that fight either. He got hit a few times, but he didn't lose that either. He was still champion. And then he meets Thanos, and in literally like 30 seconds, Thanos just hands him his ass without using any of the stones.
Yeah.
I think I'm of the camp of... Hulk was like, fuck you. Do your own... Fight your own battles. You only ever call me when you need me to fix your shit. Fight your own fucking battle.
Yeah, but...
And again, then they time jump 5 years.
Yeah, but again, they're going to have to explain that. Somehow, we're like, how come Banner can get mad and Hulk won't come out?
Because Hulk's his own person, I guess. He was like, fuck
again, there's not enough context there to, like... give a solid reason as to why Hulk wouldn't come out, other than he just decided not to. Somehow he's got enough of his own consciousness to like decide when he wants to come out. Then you've got like, well, not even a Jekyll Hyde thing, but like.
I think that's a good explanation of it, because like.
Again, like I said, they can explain that going forward and be like...
And we might get some of that in She-Hulk. Because it looks like she's in the Gamma Lab that he talks about in Endgame.
Yeah.
In the little trailer thing, she's in this big-ass square room thing.
Yeah.
And Hulk, not Banner, but Hulk is outside... Yeah. And Hulk is outside the thing talking to her about her own transformations. So it could be... that we get some of that info of like how Smart Hulk became a thing, other than the very quick 18 months in the Gamma Lab and I put the brain and brawn together. He might actually explain it better.
I feel
in
like
the show.
I think it'd only be fair for them to explain Infinity War Endgame.
Like I get what you're saying, that I wish they would give us more explanation at the time instead of coming back in a later thing and giving it. But that's something that the Marvel movies have the advantage of, is they go, we'll show it to you now, and we'll explain it in a minute.
Yeah, but every time they've done that, they fucked it up.
No, they haven't.
Miss Marvel.
Okay, if you're gonna...
Captain Marvel.
Explain. Give me that example.
Apparently Captain America is not the first Avenger.
No.
Even though he's in a movie called Captain America, the First Avenger.
She wasn't... Wasn't that just her call sign was Avenger?
I don't even remember. I just remember the movie was bad.
Like, that was... They never called her an Avenger. That was like her Air Force call sign or some shit like that. Like, that's where the name came from in the Marvel Cinematic. I think so.
I don't know.
I'll have to double check.
I don't think so.
But
because I remember, because, like, at the end of the movie, like, her and Fury are talking about, like, we need a group of people to avenge, yada, yada.
I'll have to double check. Anyway.
Also, I can't watch the continuity of the MCU now without knowing that Nick Fury's got his eye clawed out by a fucking cat, and he's trying to sit over here and act like a badass to, like, these S.H.I.E.L.D. corpo people.
Okay, hold on. But this is a cat that could eat shit.
I do not care.
This is an alien, terrifying creature cat.
It was not a terrifying creature cat when it clawed Nick Fury's eyes out.
Did you not see it eat those fucking scrolls? 3 of them in one go?
It was a cat that clawed Nick Fury's eyes.
Super cat. This thing ate the fucking Tesseract.
You cannot watch Civil War.
I absolutely can watch Civil War.
With the line of when Nick Fury or whichever Marvel...
Keep your eye on the...
or whenever he is explaining what happened to his eye, he says he trusted somebody.
He trusted that cat not to fucking claw him.
No! It's fucking stupid.
Well, it's also... Okay. Yes, it's stupid because we know the backstory, but it helps that character for him to fucking lie to everybody.
Okay, but you remember the feeling when you watched that scene with Nick Fury. No, not the cat part, but before that, Nick Fury, I think, was it Civil War?
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye.
Okay, that scene, you're like, damn, what happened?
Well, yes.
Man, Nick Fury's a badass. What happened? Who betrayed Nick Fury that he lost his eye?
But that fits with Fury. Where, like, he's not going to tell the truth about anything that happens.
Yeah, but now I just think he's some pussy who's going to, like, make up exaggerated stories.
Pussy?
Yeah, a pussy.
Because only pussies are able to get scratched.
No,
I was holding it and loving it on it, and it was like, fuck you.
It's because, like, okay.
If you were badass Nick Fury, would you tell anybody that you got clawed by a space cat, or would you just be
I absolutely would tell everybody I got clawed by a space cat.
I loved his thing with Coulson at the end of that, too, where he's like, sir, is it true that you lost that eye dealing with a Skrull invasion, or whatever the fuck he said? And he's like, I can neither confirm nor deny. He's like, that's so cool. Like, it totally fits in that character to do that. It 100% fits him to pull shit like that. I get that it bothers you, but it totally fits with that character. It almost
puts a shroud over Nick Fury in any sort of, like, grounded intimidation thing he's got.
Because he got scratched by a cat once and lies about it. It ruins the whole character because the backstory to his scratched eye is a fucking space cat. You are full of shit.
I can't watch that scene without thinking of the stupid cat,
Then you are taking too much credit into it. It's meant to be goofy. And
it wasn't meant to be goofy.
Yes, it was.
No, not Winter Soldier.
Because they didn't fucking know.
Winter Soldier's not a goofy movie.
It wasn't written then. They didn't know that was the backstory.
They didn't know, so why did they have to provide such a ridiculous backstory?
Because it's funnier. Because that's what these fucking movies are.
Winter Soldier and Civil War were not fun.
Oh my God.
Were not funny movies.
Oh my God. As a whole,
the MCU is a comedy?
Yeah. It's almost a cliche at this point that they can't go 5 minutes without a punchline.
MCU is a comedy.
Yeah. Thanos was hilarious. But no, God. I'm saying
you're the reason why Disney Plus and MCU is thriving.
No, I'm doing this to pick at you. My point is, it doesn't ruin shit because it totally fits with that character. It
taints the character for a lot of people.
Okay, whatever. I'm not
going to say it. I'm not going to say it totally.
I'm not going to sway you.
I know that, but I'm not going to say it totally taints the character overall for everyone.
What you did say.
No,
you said it ruins that character.
Yeah, for me, for a lot of people who again, originally you Like, even now when you watch it chronologically, you gotta watch Captain Marvel first.
That's true.
And so now you get Nick Fury, like, the introduction, and, like, you got all these people, like, asking about his eye, and now you got the mindset
This is the same
of,
dude
like...
that claims he can't eat diagonal toast. Like, it's... All that movie did... all that movie did for me was humanize Nick Fury a little more.
Yeah, it did, but, like, that whole eye thing, though, it bothered...
It humanizes him. It's not some super badass secret spy mission. He got fucking scratched by a space cat. Like it
or he could have just lost it in some freak accident explosion.
That's boring.
That's not boring.
That's totally boring.
That's not boring.
It's definitely boring.
It's not boring.
Fury, how'd you lose your eye? Oh, I had a fender bender that caught my car on fire.
No, he could have done something where he put his life in danger to save Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And like something happened and
nah, he got too close to the fluffy belly and that cat told him to fuck right off. He shouldn't have trusted that Flurkin. Fucking Flurkin.
Oh God, see, there was another opportunity where they could have had a long stay. Oh God, okay, like I'm thinking I just had like a whole script read out in my mind in a matter of seconds now where I could have made everything so much better. So Captain Marvel's where they could have introduced Taskmaster.
Taskmaster?
Yeah. They could have introduced Taskmaster and had some subplot where he's the reason why they went on the run from S.H.I.E.L.D. and he goes into hiding for X amount of time, and if they had done things correctly, they could have reintroduced Taskmaster into, like, Winter Soldier or something.
I still think they should have just had GSP be Taskmaster from all the way back in Winter Soldier. Like,
but then Taskmaster could have been the reason why Nick Fury lost his eye.
Nah. See, that's what I'm saying about it humanizing him. If it was something that big and badass, it just stays in the everybody's a fucking superhero.
No, you can still humanize. You can sympathize with Fury trusting somebody.
No, not the way he lost the eye. I'm saying what it humanizes Nick Fury with is that it was something he would be embarrassed about because it is very anti-Nick Fury. So the fact that he just lets people believe whatever the fuck it is, that's Nick Fury. You understand what I'm saying?
We've never gotten that kind of idea from Fury, though.
No, I'm saying that is very Nick Fury to do.
This Nick Fury?
All Nick Furies. Even David Hasselhoff. No. Like, letting people believe something else about you instead of confirming it, so just be like, yeah, sure, that's how it went. That is very Nick Fury in terms of nobody really knows.
That could be several characters in the MCU, though.
It could, but Nick Fury's the dude. Nick Fury's the kind of guy that has dozens of life model decoys out there, and he's secretly fucking hidden somewhere. Like, he's all about misdirection and secrets and, Black Hood type shit. Like, that's the wrong terminology. What was I thinking? Wet work type shit.
Like a veil.
Yeah, like, he's all about misdirection, and he's the spy of spies. Like, somebody even made a joke in one of the movies. Even his secrets have secrets. Like, it totally is in line with this character to something like that happening and him just being like, I'm never fucking telling anybody what happened. I get why it bothers you, but I think it just humanizes the character.
It doesn't make sense that he wouldn't tell anybody. I could see
him.
I could see why he wouldn't tell anybody, but not because he'd be embarrassed over the fact that telling somebody you got your eyes crushed out by a cat.
Yeah. Like, one, he probably can't mention the alien part of it, and then, to your point,
who does he talk to that he wouldn't be able to mention the alien aspect of it?
Exactly. Like, Coulson? Probably the only one?
He could tell anybody that he has interacted with about it. There's no reason not to.
There's no
reason not to tell Tony Stark. Especially after Avengers 1.
Why the fuck would he tell Tony Stark how he lost his eye?
So, Nick, you going to tell me how you lost that eye?
No.
And then, you really want to know? You really want to know, Tony?
But that doesn't fit that doesn't sound like Fury at all. Of like, sure, Tony, let me sit you down on my knee and tell you the story about the
he wouldn't do that. He would go about it as Nick Fury would.
Exactly. The same way he did it with like Coulson at the end of that movie, where Coulson's like, is this how it happened? I can't tell you. Like, nobody knows. It could be
a literal 1 minute exposition.
But why would he tell that to anybody, is my point.
He wouldn't just be volatile. Hey, I got my eyes scratched out of a cat before you ask.
But why the fuck would he admit that to anybody?
Why would he hide it?
Because it makes him seem cooler.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
The dude has a mysteriously destroyed eye with a fucking scratch, and nobody really knows how it happened, and he never really gives it. That adds more mystique to the person that Nick Fury is, if he's your boss or your higher up. To the badass dude that
you're not going to tell every single person.
Why would you tell anybody? Fuck that. Like, let everybody, including the superheroes underneath you on your team, let them think you're some super powerful human being, and not tell them that a kitty cat scratched out your eyeball.
Having an eye patch doesn't make you...
No, but having an eye patch with claw marks coming out of it and then a fucked up white eye, that makes you look pretty cool.
It makes you look cool, but to somebody like Thor or Captain America...
Like, have you seen the image of Nick Fury from Secret Invasion with no eye patch and the beard?
Yeah.
Terrifying. Like, if that dude walked up to me out of the shadows and was like, Mr. Shipman, I'd be like, ah! Like, fucking creepy looking old man.
I'm not saying he wouldn't be any less intimidating because he got it scratched out by a cat.
I think it would take a little away from it.
I think that overall character development...
Like, no, I'm agreeing with you in that the cat being the one doing it is ridiculous. But I disagree. I think it totally fits with his character to keep that a fucking secret. The only people that know about it are Captain Marvel.
And Coulson?
No, Coulson doesn't know. Because he was the one that asked him at the end.
Oh, that's right.
Carol Danvers knows, and her friend. Rambo.
Monica Rambeau?
No, the mom.
Monica's mom?
Yeah, because Monica's the young version that was in WandaVision. Yeah. Not young version, but the woman in WandaVision. Her mom.
I wonder if Monica...
Her mom was on the ship, and Talos was on the ship.
Yeah.
They are the only three that know. And Talos, that's your example right there of like how scary a Flurkin is all the fucking Skrulls were like, get that bitch away from me. Like... okay.
We're going to agree to disagree on that one.
Well, that's most things we talk about.
Yeah.
But touching on Fury, Talos, and all that, Spider-Man 3. Because they were in 2. That's how I'm making this jump.
I was going to say, I've completely forgotten about Nick. The last thing we've ever seen of Nick Fury is that he was
Talos. He's
in space?
Yeah. He's in space, probably working for S.W.O.R.D. Or leading S.W.O.R.D. Because we know we're getting a S.W.O.R.D. something. We are now out of the S.H.I.E.L.D. era, and we're into the S.W.O.R.D. era of Marvel Cinematic. Because they just gave it to us, an Earth-based S.W.O.R.D. in WandaVision, which I do like the little tweak, where it's sentient weapon observation and response instead of sentient worlds observation, because Vision is a sentient weapon. Ultron is a sentient weapon. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense, given the history of the MCU, that sentient weapons would be the thing they keep an eye on. I liked that change.
Instead of the worlds,
yeah, I liked that change. I'm super excited about where they go with that, because like S.W.O.R.D. was a cool concept with Abigail Brand being their leader and shit. Like, that was a cool concept. So I'd like to see where they go with that. I'm also super excited about Secret Invasion. Like, I know I started bringing up Spider-Man, but I'm going to touch on this for a second. They only showed us a bunch of title cards. We could do a whole episode talking about the stuff on Disney Plus, the reveals, because we got talks about. You haven't seen the thing, so I might be spoiling or not spoiling, but I might be announcing things for you.
That's fine.
So we're getting an Agatha Harkness show. It's called Agatha House of Harkness.
I heard about it. It's stupid.
What was the other new one? You can't say it's stupid off just the title. Maybe the show's amazing.
I sure can.
Catherine what's her name?
I don't remember.
Heigl?
No. Catherine Heigl's blonde.
That's a different person. That woman, that actress is awesome. Yeah. So that show might be fun. It might also be fucking stupid, but it might be fun.
It might not even happen.
That's also true. They might cancel it, but I don't think they will. Because
I mean,
it was
they were
rumored
supposed
a while back.
They were supposed to have Howard the Duck show on Hulu.
Oh, yeah, the anime. Well, we're still getting Hit Monkey.
I think Hit Monkey's out.
Is it out?
I think so.
Dude, I thought Hit Monkey and all that shit was going to disappear. And when Hit Monkey showed up, I was like, okay, Hulu, maybe. Because Disney owns Hulu as well.
Yeah.
But,
Hellstrom
got canceled. I'm trying
There's
to
still
think.
MODOK.
I'm too nervous to change my phone, or I would go look. But they announced a few things. They showed us a little bit of Kenobi.
Oh, yeah.
Confirming that Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader for some reason. But yeah, Disney announced a few things. I'm blanking on. You're checking now.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it real quick.
But they showed.
I think there was Miss Marvel.
Yeah, they showed a little Miss Marvel. I'm iffy on that, not because of the show itself, because it seems like they're going to be changing her powers. From the rumors around it, to where instead of her stretching, this is how I'm understanding it. Instead of her stretching like Mr. Fantastic, which I kind of understand if they want to change that because they're want to introduce the Fantastic Four, and instead it's going to be like this crystalline energy or some shit that comes around her body. That maybe that's what she's projecting, kind of like a crystalline Green Lantern type power set, maybe. At least that's how I'm understanding it. It could be totally wrong.
So, all of the Marvel series coming to Disney Plus 2021 and beyond.
Okay.
I'm assuming this is in a chronological release order.
I don't think so. I think they were just talking. Okay.
Let's see, what is it? November 24th this year.
Looking forward. Next couple weeks.
Mid 2022.
Yeah.
Moon Knight.
Looking forward to that.
She-Hulk. 2022. Secret Invasion, also 2022.
Hell yeah.
X-Men 97.
Which that dude. Okay, let's talk about that for a second.
This is new to me.
Okay, so what X-Men 97 is going to be is just a continuation of the old 90s cartoon. A lot of the voice cast is coming back.
Yeah, it says essentially it's a new animated series exploring the story set in the same iconic 90s timeline of the original.
Dude,
So it's essentially a continuation.
Yeah, like I didn't need that. I don't know. I don't know how many people needed it.
As long as they don't make it dumb.
Right, like. It took for a good comparison. Like I may have enjoyed the show, but I do understand that it went in directions that pissed off the fans. He-Man,
the Netflix,
the new one, the Kevin Smith version.
Yeah.
The way they fucking changed the story and shit, or not changed the story, but
it's a continuation of the original. But like you're talking about like the retcons or the
not the retcons, but the different direction they took in it that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Like I'm hoping that Disney avoids that with this because there is such a loyal fan base and shit. Just like there was a loyal I'm on the fence about that one because
me too.
While I enjoyed the He-Man show, the Netflix one, I'm also not a diehard He-Man, so the changes didn't bother me.
I was gonna say it didn't do much for me.
Like my thing, what cracked me up about that, and we're not going to get onto a He-Man tangent. I do want to say this: what cracked me up about the backlash and anger about Kevin Smith, him misleading the fans, saying it was one thing and it turned out to be the other. When whoever it was that found out what the story was supposed to be, when they approached him with it, what the fuck was he supposed to do?
Not do it?
Other than shut up. Which he should have. We've talked about this on the podcast. Other than shut the fuck up, what was he supposed to do? Like, you're totally right. We kill off He-Man twice in the first episode, and which
it's more of the Tila show than it is He-Man.
Yeah, which to quote Kevin Smith, killing off He-Man in the first episode, I thought was pretty metal. To use his term, I thought that was pretty ballsy. But yeah, I'll check out X-Men 97 just because I enjoyed the cartoon. I don't know why we need it.
Yeah,
but it's cool. I guess.
It's more than likely just nostalgia bait.
Yeah, I think that money and time could have been put to other shit though. New shit.
Yeah, so that comes out 2023.
A Spider-Man animated series, which
I'm sure that's somewhere around here if it is.
It's Spider-Man's sophomore year, I think.
Ironheart.
Yeah, which got a new logo.
Yeah, to be announced.
Yeah, which I'm still looking forward to that because I liked the concept of the character. Like I'm down on it. Like I not down on it, but down with it. Like I like the idea of it. And
I guess
I'm not saying it's the greatest idea ever. I like the concept of it to see what the studios can do with it.
I guess see if they can make it better than the comic book version.
Yeah, because I know the comic wasn't well received. I loved the art style, or not art, but
I was gonna say that's. One would think or theorize that's what they're trying to do with a lot of these characters that they're bringing into the MCU that were failed comics.
Kind of fix them up.
Ironheart, Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop.
Well, I mean, Miss Marvel's still ongoing. I mean, Miss Marvel's got some diehards in the comics.
No, I think her comic series shut down.
Well, her individual one, yeah, but she's still in the Young Avengers, I think.
Yeah,
she's still a prominent player.
Yeah, but that's like the same thing with Kate Bishop. Almost everything
True.
Kate Bishop was attached to got canceled.
True, her solo series didn't last very long.
So, one could theorize that they're trying to somehow inadvertently redeem and do a soft reboot. With these characters.
Like what I enjoy. Like I said it a second ago, but I like the concept of the character. I think it could be great of somebody trying to trying to fill the shoes of Tony Stark, not going to be able to do it, especially if they're able to somehow incorporate the Tony AI thing.
Yeah.
Which I would love to see somebody do. Mm-hmm. Because, one, it gets Robert Downey back in the MCU.
He's already said he's not going to come back unless it makes sense. This wouldn't make enough sense.
To you? Yes, it does.
No.
You could make it make sense. Like
enough sense to him?
That's a good point. But I mean, how if you're Robert Downey,
I would.
Iron Man
at this point in the current state of the MCU, I would not come back.
Dude, if I'm Robert Downey, man, and they go, we're gonna give you X amount of millions to sit in your closet at home in your sweatpants and record 2 hours of dialogue. Done.
Nope.
Done.
Nope.
Fucking easy.
Your first mistake was killing off Tony Stark.
No, I mean, you gotta... If nobody started dying in these fucking movies, nobody would care anymore, man. Like
They would still care. People don't have to die to have a good story.
No, they don't need to die.
I mean, I understand making
sacrifices,
but...
No, they don't need to die, but there does need to be stakes. Like, if Iron Man was... Killing off Iron Man for being the first one, like the staple of the MCU at least, him and Cap being gone, like it raises the stakes to where even if these legendary heroes in our world can be snuffed out, anybody's fair game. And plus, it lends to the evolution of the world having Steve step aside and Sam or Bucky step up. I would have loved to have seen Bucky. I like Falcon Cap. I like the way they've handled him. I would have loved to have seen Bucky do it first. It's just me. Because I liked Bucky Cap in the comics. I really did like that version of the character. But it allows you to do more with Bucky as his own type of character. Because he's a fun character.
Yeah, by himself, he's good.
And then you have... War Machine gets to step up and be our Iron character. And if you mix Ironheart with him, because she's going to be in Armor Wars, it's a good sidekick for him. The elder statesman been rocking this armor, and this new bitch shows up, and he's got to show her the ropes while they try to figure out how to take down these bad guys. Like I like the moving aside the top guys so the secondaries can come up and get their time to shine and just become the heroes that they need to be.
Like in the time frame, though, it just is like. It's such a bad move to do so early after establishing these characters as household names.
Well, yeah, I can see what you're saying. Because, well, so early though, it's been 10 years, man.
Yeah, but like they weren't household names till after like Captain America came out.
Yeah, but again.
So like 5 years.
I don't know.
Like the first 5 years. And then everybody is like, "Oh, I want to start reading more Captain America. I want to start reading more Thor. I want to start reading." More
well, Avengers. You still have that option.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 20 something, 22, 23 films before Endgame. Like, that's a lot of fucking time with these characters, man.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting the fact that we're going to get a lot more time with new characters with the shows.
Yeah, but
Like,
also, like, there's nothing wrong with recasting the character.
That's...
I mean, I understand what it'll do overall, but it's like them saying, we're not going to recast T'Challa.
Yeah.
Okay, make that dumb decision.
Yeah.
We're not going to recast T'Challa in 616. Cop out, but okay.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think what it comes down to is the difference in the medium, because like with comic books you can have Batman be 45 for 50 years.
Yeah.
Robin stays a child. But with the movies, you almost have to find ways to evolve that world because you only get the actor for so long.
Yeah, but to kill him off is like you're.
Well, I mean, that was...
How many times can you do that though? Or again, you either kill off the character or something happens IRL and that actor can't play that character.
Yeah.
So
like where else do you go with Iron Man though? Like that was a really good bookmark for his story, from being the playboy dude to being the guy that gives his life for the universe. Like where else do you go for him with that? Like I thought that was a really poignant way to have him die off, is
like his redemption.
Yeah.
Being,
to where he goes from being this
selfish, self-centered
to the most selfless act you could do, of giving your life for the good of the universe.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you want to save the universe? Because I'm one of the idiots that live in it.
I'm not going to argue it was a bad move.
I'm with you, though. I wish they would have found a way to keep Robert Downey Jr. in, because I like his Iron Man.
The character of Iron Man more so. Like, I understand Robert Downey wanting to retire.
Yeah.
But...
And we still have that potential...
They also should have taken a break before shoving out WandaVision. Like
They did. They took a year.
They were forced to take a year.
No, they took that year. They were like, fuck it.
No.
I'm pretty sure they announced the break before COVID hit. 2020, I think, was already not going to get any. They were going to spend the 2020 filming shit. But, and we could still potentially get Cap. I mean, if you take your notions from the comics, that's how we get these characters to come back.
Yeah.
So if you have AI Tony, that's how Tony can come back. Because there was a whole run where Tony was AI in the suit. He was still Iron Man. He was just a robot. There's Old Man Cap stories where there's a whole storyline where the serum gets, like, depleted or whatever the fuck. Why he...
Like it wears off.
Yeah, I forget why he aged, but he got old for a while, and there was a whole story like that was why Sam became Cap, and then Cap was there to use an MCU phrase. He was their guy in the chair. He was the strategist back at S.H.I.E.L.D., or back at the headquarters. So he was still an active member. You could totally find a way to bring Chris Evans in, like in, say, Captain America 4, because we know that movie's happening. Like, you could find a way to have Evans be in that movie as old Cap, because they don't really say what the fuck happened to him at the end of Endgame. Like, there's jokes in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Insinuated that
he's on the moon. That's what all the Captain America jokes are in Falcon and Winter Soldier, is that Steve Rogers is on a secret base on the moon.
Oh,
which
I missed that part.
they make that joke 3 or 4 times. Yeah. But it's like, in the comics, Nick Fury was on a secret base on the moon.
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't put it past Marvel to have that happen. Like,
yeah, probably.
Because that feels like that's the type of shit Marvel does, where if that's not what's going to happen, it's a misdirect for something better or bigger.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be that hard for them to bring Rogers back as old, or bring Evans back as old Cap. Mm-hmm. And have them do stories like that, but it would be fun.
Yeah. Okay, so to pick back up, so we had Ironheart. Next one is I Am Groot.
Oh, I do want to touch real quick for the listeners. Ironheart, Riri Williams, will also be showing. She will first be introduced in Black Panther as a friend of Shuri. Yeah. But continue, sorry.
Yeah. So next is I Am Groot.
Animated show.
Announced, What If Season 2.
Yep.
Echo.
who is going to be introduced in Hawkeye. Why she's getting a greenlit spin-off show already, I don't know.
I don't know.
That character better be fucking dope.
Like I said, it's turning into the MCU. Spider-Man freshman year.
Which is not live action with Tom Holland, we should say. It is an animated thing. They haven't announced any of the voice cast
so
yet.
The animated series follows Peter Parker on his way to becoming Spider-Man in the MCU.
Okay, so this is supposed to be a prequel?
Like a prequel for him, yeah.
Huh. See, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
it's kind of neat.
With a journey unlike we've ever seen in a style that celebrated comic book characters' early comic book roots.
So, like, maybe power-free Spider-Man? Like a Peter Parker story?
Maybe.
Because there's been some of those in the comics that were really fun, of Peter with no powers.
Well, no, because, like, it's going to be Spider-Man, but I think it'll just be, like...
Like, we might get to see the spider bite and shit in there,
probably.
in the cartoon.
I think it'll be, like, a year after all that, maybe.
Well, no, because when we are introduced to him in Civil War, he says he's only had the powers for, like, 6 months.
Okay, so this is going to be a short series, then.
Yeah, it could just be a limited thing, like, or what are they calling them? Event series? Like WandaVision was an event series where they only ever intended the one season.
They're going to have to be careful with that one too. They're going to have to keep them shitty the entire series then.
No, because I like the idea of them doing event series. It's like somebody was telling me the other day.
Like, they can't overdo him in the series because, like, in Civil War, he's still kind of like.
Oh, Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, they can't have him do like these big old extravagant. Big deal things.
No. Yeah, no, it's gotta. I hope it's more of like a coming of age. Like maybe he got bit and it's him learning to deal with the powers, but not really fighting any. Because it's anime, you don't need him to be. It doesn't need to be a big action heavy show. It can be a little simple show.
I mean, he could also like just like friendly neighborhood Spider-Man doing street level
shit. Maybe like dealing with like.
Just petty crime shit.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't even need to be a supervillain.
Yeah.
Or if it is a supervillain, be like Stiltman or some stupid shit.
Just like have some random friend that shows up in the middle of the school year, becomes friends with them, finds out their parents suck and they're involved with a crime family.
Right?
And he inadvertently helps the friend, and that friend gets relocated through Child Protective Services.
There you go. See, I like this story you're writing.
There you go. I just wrote the entire Spider-Man series.
There you go. What's next?
Next up is Agatha, House of Harkness.
Which we talked about for a split second.
So I'm not really all about that. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
I mean...
What could you do?
She's old as shit. You could... Maybe there's... I don't know. I don't know a lot about the character, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
I just know she was always like an antagonist for Wanda.
Yeah.
And not even an antagonist, just like a... Because sometimes she was helpful.
She was like a sub-secondary character.
Yeah. Like, she was sometimes a villain, sometimes a helpful person, but always kind of fucking mean.
That's also to be announced, no set date. Next up, Marvel Zombies.
Which I'm looking forward to, man. And
I'm looking forward to it.
Now, from what I understand, and this could be wrong.
And that's the last thing.
You might have more of detail right there, but I think it's spinning out of that What If episode. So it's that world of zombies.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, because the comic version of Marvel Zombies was fucking weird. It was so convoluted. And don't get me wrong, I love that series. I think it's great. I enjoy reading it. But in terms of trying to translate that to screen, be it live action or animation,
it's definitely going to be animation.
You need to change a lot. Because there's so much of that's just fucking weird and makes very little sense.
I mean, that was the whole intent of it, was just be like a one-off, its own story kind of thing.
I did love that the animated What If Marvel Zombies episode kept T'Challa in a similar situation that the comics was, where he was being held captive and being eaten slowly, bit by bit, to keep... Because in the comics, it was Hank Pym had him and was eating him slowly so he could keep his mind and try to figure shit out.
Yeah.
And in the show, it was Vision who kept him so that he could feed Wanda.
Yeah.
And when the whole episode, like, they changed enough, I wasn't expecting it. to where it was like when they finally do that reveal, the nerd in me was like, they did the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because and it was perfect. He had a fucking leg missing. He was walking on the crutch. It was exactly just an MCU flavored version of that part.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yay, they did it.
God, I remember when it initially was teased, and we're like, well, how the hell would Iron Man get turned? And it turns out Hank Pym.
Yeah, they get hit by Pym.
Yeah, like, all right, I guess.
Which, well, I mean, they've done. There was a. It's not exactly. It's not Marvel, but they had something similar in that Deceased story. For
yeah.
DC's. Their version of the zombies.
Yeah, it was like DC Zombies.
Where.
It was like Deceased.
What's his name? Captain Atom. Was him. They were doing an experiment in the. I know we're kind of delving off, but in the DC storyline. Captain Atom is helping with the trying to figure out what's going on, and so they have the Atom, Ray Palmer, shrunk down inside a zombie to try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
and he never came back. So like they're telling it, and through the like speech bubbles, it's like of someone telling the story of what happened then.
Right.
And Palmer never came out of the zombie as far as they know.
Right.
And what happened was Palmer did come out of the zombie, turned, got onto Captain Atom, and as he flew away, Palmer figured out how to get inside him and bit him on the inside.
Oh.
Like bit his heart or some shit.
Yeah.
So they turned Captain Atom, who's essentially a walking A-bomb,
Yeah.
and turned him into a zombie, and he blows up and levels a good chunk of America.
I was gonna say, I remember being interested in that when
Dude.
it started, but I don't know anything that happened.
Bro, I've got the whole series on my app.
I'll have to.
It's so fucking good.
I'll have to watch like a comic story and wrap up thing.
Dude, you should.
Got it.
It's so fucking good. Like the way they treat their holy trinity of
Yeah.
Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Chef's kiss. It's perfection.
Didn't that happen before DC Metal? Or was it like between DC Metal and DC Dark Knights? Or Heavy...
I'm not sure. I think it was happening around the same time, though.
I was going to say, I thought DC Metal, Dark Knights, and Deceased. I thought that was like I thought it was like a multi-phase thing that they were doing.
No. Well, it may have been at the same time, but I don't think Deceased has any kind of connection to it.
I didn't think it did.
Deceased was and around the same time God damn it. Around the same time DC did Deceased, Marvel came out with a new zombies thing.
Oh yeah, didn't they do like Marvel Zombies 2 or something like that?
No, well they did that a while back, but I don't remember what they called this new one. But it was essentially where they tried to make it make better sense. Where like a celestial or something was floating towards Earth and there was zombies inside it type weird shit.
Yeah.
And I never really got to fuck with that at all. I just remember in the first issue they sent all their heavy hitters like Cap and the Fantastic Four and fucking Sentry and Gladiator and Thor and all their big heavy hitters, and all of them get turned.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a scene in it where I think it was Gladiator is in their I think it was Gladiator is in their ship. Somebody is in their main ship, and all the heavy hitters went into the whatever it was, and then he's like, what do I do? Do I need to come in there? And fucking like Thor, zombified, flies right out of the thing and comes and kills them all. And it was, when I was reading parts of that, I was like, alright, cool, now you're getting the Marvel Zombies that makes more sense. The art is incredible, and then I'd never read issue 2. So I don't know where that story went. I got sucked into Deceased.
I didn't even remember that's how it started.
I got sucked into Deceased, and Deceased having both series and just both being phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because they've got the whole thing of what happened to Earth and the people leaving Earth, and then you've got the second series where they come back to Earth, and it's now the Holy Trinity is now Damian Wayne, John Kent, and Cassie, whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
They are now Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
They even have a funny scene where Damian's Batman is sitting and he's sewing up his cape, and Commissioner Gordon comes out and he's like, I never thought I'd see Batman sew. And Damian goes, the fact that my dad was so reliant on Alfred was frankly embarrassing. Batman should sew. And it's like, you know what?
He should
That's a
sew.
fucking good point.
He's got a good point.
Like, I'm not saying Batman didn't know how to sew, but he also did go,
He was
Alfred.
He was really reliant.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I like that.
Like, there's a fucking hilarious panel in that, and I'll have to find it and I'll send it to you, where Jason Todd is still alive post deceased or in deceased, and him, Orphan, and Commissioner Gordon. Jason shows up at the Batcave and finds the Bat family's dead and buries them,
Right.
and then takes a Batmobile. And at some point, he comes across zombified Joker, or dead zombified Joker, because Harley Quinn kills Joker, and straps him to the front of the Batmobile, the dead body of the Joker.
Oh, wow.
And they're driving away, and Gordon's like, it's a little fucked up, isn't it? He goes, it's an apocalypse. And then they get to where they're going, like a sanctuary thing, and they pull up, and everybody's looking at him like, what the fuck? And Gordon's like, maybe take the dead clown off the car. Like, I love, that's the little things that in these fucked up stories where they can still throw in the little humor bits.
I was
going to
say, yeah, because I remember they did something similar where it was like, I think it was...
Blackest Night?
No.
Or are you saying Marvel?
No, DC. It was one of the Batman stories. I want to say it was connected to DC Metal. It may have been right before. I think it was like when they were trying to kind of tie things up with the Joker who laughs. And it was where they had Bruce in the asylum. And then it turned out like he wasn't crazy and he broke out.
Yeah,
and I think
where he's carrying Joker's head in the car?
he's carrying Joker's head in the lantern or something like that. Yeah.
We're almost at the 2-hour mark.
I was going to say, yeah, we kind
well,
of wrap things up.
I think
we've gone way too goddamn long.
Yeah, well, before we cut it, we need to talk about Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, the Spider-Man trailer that just came out.
Spider-Man trailer dropped for us yesterday, and bro, this movie looks fucking hyped.
God, it's the only thing that looks good in the MCU right now.
Like, right? Like,
it's only thing.
I don't want to like.
It's the only thing I'm looking for.
Like, I don't want to back your play of saying that everything post Endgame has been shit because I've been enjoying it, but this looks like the funnest fucking shit to come out in a minute.
Yeah.
Like, and we have to talk about the fix.
Oh yeah.
Because something changed in the past 24 hours. So in this trailer, they show off Scorpion, or not Scorpion.
It's essentially
Sandman,
like the Sinister
fucking
Six.
Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe's version, and maybe even another one. We don't know that for sure. But we definitely saw somebody else on a glider.
Yeah, it's definitely an alternate. I think it's a Hobgoblin.
I'm hoping so.
It could be.
Ned Leeds is a character in this movie.
Hold on, yeah,
he's his best friend.
I was gonna say, yeah, I heard
the actor lost a lot of weight and he looked really good.
Somebody did say that there's a rumor that Ned could be the Hobgoblin.
Now, I would rather not Ned, Peter's friend, becoming Hobgoblin, but if they're doing all these multiverse things,
So like an alternate universe Ned.
yeah. It's if you're gonna have the storyline be about how the multiverse cracks open because of this fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't multiple what if? Ponder the question. What if the villains we're seeing in the trailer is only the tip of the fucking iceberg? Like, what if they go at least for a?
Well, did you see Venom 2?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Like, what if for at least a hot minute? I do know about the post-credit scene.
Okay.
What if for a hot minute, at least one chunk of a fight, it's this smorgasbord of like the Scorpion and a different Goblin, and oh look, there's Hobgoblin. Why does he look like Ned?
Yeah.
Little shit like that. I would love to see at least a scene of more than what we were expecting.
I think we might get that.
And while I'm still okay with the fact, or the idea of Tom Holland being the only Spider in this movie, I would still be totally on board.
I was gonna say I'm not holding my breath on.
I'm not either.
On Maguire and
I wasn't either. until today, because yesterday when that trailer dropped, they have a frame or two of there's a big section where you have Electro, Sandman, and the Lizard all jumping at Spider-Man. And Spider-Man doesn't touch any of them.
No, there's a good distance between Spider-Man and these three. Yeah.
And then Lizard, who is, again, nowhere near Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Nope. And to paint it more clerical,
it's a splash page.
It's essentially a splash page. There's debris flying everywhere. Things are flying, but it's only Spider-Man, Sandman, and his Sandman giant cloud form.
Giant sandcastle.
Giant sand monster cloud.
Dust, or no, what do they call what do they call it? Is it just a sandstorm?
Yeah, sandstorm, yeah.
There we go. Continue.
Lizard and Electro. And they're all pretty evenly distanced from each other, but they're more so distanced from Spider-Man.
As they jump through the air
at each other,
something invisible hits the Lizard in the face. Visibly, to where he jerks to the side and everything.
Yeah.
The joke online is that John Cena's in this movie, and I'd totally be down for that. But the day before this podcast, in fact, Josh said he hadn't seen the trailer yet.
No, I saw the trailer. I just didn't see it in great detail.
Right, yeah. Gotcha. So we watched the trailer again, and as it's coming to that part, because I'm like, did you see in the blah, blah, blah? And he goes, no, I didn't see. So I was like, let me show you. So we bring the trailer up, and right before that moment where Lizard gets hit by something, they cut it, and it goes to the next scene. They took a frame, a second, half a second out of that fucking trailer. And then I was like, I swear to God it was there. I know I saw that shit. And we had to go and find a video of somebody pointing it out, like a breakdown, to find it. Which means in less than 24 hours, Marvel saw that and went, oh fuck, and fixed it. Which if they wouldn't have done that, I would still have not been holding my breath for Spider-Man. Or multiple Spider-Mans. But the fact that they fixed it in less than a day, that tells me something big's coming.
It could be something. It could just be missing debris.
It could be, but if it's missing debris, why would they take it out?
Because it looks silly.
Why
wouldn't they add the missing debris?
That's true too. They could have easily added.
No, it would have been easier to cut it than to go back and add something.
It would have been easier just to cut it. But another thing that I saw to add to the fucking Mephisto train of looking for clues. There's a scene in the trailer where he's swinging through like the sewer or whatever away from something, and somebody online got real close on that shot, and it looks like they changed a Spider-Man into another Spider-Man, because the suit is the new Tom Holland suit.
Yeah.
But the eyes are Tobey Maguire's spider eyes.
Oh.
Like that triangular shape.
Yeah.
And somebody online was like, they didn't fucking fully fix this. What if this is his Spider-Man running? Like, it's getting to that level.
I was going to say, that is
it's a stretch. It's
a huge stretch, bit of an edit where, like...
It's a reach, but in a world where something like the Lizard spot, making it into the final trailer before they fixing it, that wouldn't surprise me. If they were like, fix this, and they just didn't fix the face. Or the eyes, I should say. Like, it would be really dumb. But so is letting the Lizard spot stay in the trailer.
Because then you gotta think, okay, well, if they've got these CG character models, and they've got a CG character model for Maguire Spider-Man and Holland Spider-Man.
I thought the same thing.
Why would they have a model where it's Holland Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man
That
eyes?
was my thought too. If it's plug and play for the whole suit, maybe. But what if it's like bits and pieces or something? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm repeating the info I got.
Well, I was gonna say there was one theory I heard that was kind of a cool idea, where it's like,
oh, I remember this. I don't like this theory.
Where it's like a blend, where it's like events that happen in all the movies, but it's like overlapped.
Oh, okay, different.
Okay,
different
so
theory.
like there's the scene. There's a scene where MJ, Tom
Tom Holland's MJ. She's falling off, and then you see it. They're like, well, what if we do have Maguire and
Kirsten Dunst.
No. The other Spider-Man.
Oh, Andrew Garfield.
What if they're in this movie, but they're only in it for a total of several seconds?
I think that'd be the smart way.
Where there's events where they can shoot a scene that's similar to events that happen in both these for Maguire and Garfield Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So there's the scene where Holland Spider-Man, MJ, she's falling, and then you see both her hands reaching. What if that is going to be an overlap scene where you see in Garfield Spider-Man 2 where he shot his web to save
Gwen Stacy?
And so there's going to be an overlap where you see the web like transition into Holland's hand reaching. And so instead of not being able to save MJ, he saves her.
Maybe. I think if we get the other Spider-Man, I think it's more likely... Maybe not more likely, but what I would do with it, I wouldn't do them showing up at the halfway mark and being with him for the rest of the... There's a spot in the trailer that looks like it's probably the finale battle of, like, at the... It looks like the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
That's where I would do it. Where for the final battle, he's getting his ass whipped, and Strange is trying to do this spell or whatever.
Yeah.
And multiple Spider-Men show up.
Yeah.
Even more so, perhaps even more than just the two we're hoping for.
I was gonna say there's also a line from Doc Ock where he's like, "You're not Peter."
Yeah, but that could be as simple as again, and if this movie doesn't have other spiders.
I was gonna say they've already also confirmed that Doc Ock is the same Doc Ock from Maguire Spider-Man.
All of the villains coming in are the ones that died fighting their Spider-Man, and this is them before they died.
Yeah.
Like maybe different universes or something like that.
Before.
Yeah. But there's also been, and I don't know how accurate this is. This could just be the internet full of shit.
Yeah.
There's a kid that looks a lot like hairstyle and the whole nine of Miles from the animated thing. Mm-hmm. Like he's got the same kind of like
the fro.
Is it a fro
it's
still
a fro,
where it's like a triangle looking shape?
Yeah.
Or like a high top. Anyway, but it's there's a young black kid walking around a set, and they claim the shot was taken from the Spider-Man 3 set, and he's in a fucking mocap suit.
Yeah.
Which that's what they're doing for the spider suits now. So I think it's possible that if they stick the other Spideys at the end in the finale, that we could get more than just the two we saw.
Yeah.
Or that we hope for. We could get something like Miles, Miguel, Venom might be showing up because we know he's now in the MCU.
Yeah.
But there's no telling. I mean, the sky's the limit with what they could do.
I don't think Venom's going to show up at that point.
No.
I think they'll do a teaser where...
You don't think he'll show up in Spider-Man 3 at all? Or just like...
He'll show
maybe
up,
in a small...
I think he'll show up, but as like an in-credit scene type thing. Where it's going to be like Eddie Brock... Like, he gets to New York, and, you know, something's happening or whatever, and, like, there's a flyer with Tom Holland's Peter Parker on it.
Yeah.
And he picks it up and he's looking at it, and then he looks up and sees Spider-Man swing by.
Maybe. Because, like, they already had... I've seen the post-credits thing for Venom. I haven't seen Venom. Yeah. I've only seen the post-credits.
I was going to say, here, like...
Because that, for me, I was okay watching that.
Yeah.
Because, one, the only thing it spoils for the story is that Venom doesn't die. Shocker.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, like, the perfect... it wouldn't be... What I would expect with the way I would do it... In credit scene Spider-Man 3, No Way Home, whatever it is.
Homeward Bound.
Yeah, Spider-Man Homeward Bound. The in credit scene would be Eddie Brock arrives in New York, and he's maybe been there like a few weeks, and he's taking contract jobs for the Daily Bugle.
Well, depending on
how they're asking him to get pictures of Spider-Man.
Well, but depending on the timeline of this movie, like how soon, because when Eddie gets in that post-credits, when he shows up in the MCU, it's at the same moment when J. Jonah reveals who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
So, like, if this movie, we know that this movie takes place, or at least picks up right at that moment.
Yeah.
Because we've seen in the trailer them swinging away.
That is true.
So, however long it takes this movie to go, that's how long Eddie's been there.
That is true.
So if he's in like fucking Hawaii or whatever the hell he is in that post-credits scene, it would probably take him a minute. So you're right, we probably won't see him unless they superhero it out.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. It was like it'll be like an end-credit scene type thing.
Yeah, I think that would be the smart way.
Because Sony has already said we want Spider-Man in the quote-unquote Venomverse.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I think it's a smart move from Sony to just say fuck it and let's start blending these universes.
I was gonna say that's why they're not selling the Spider-Man franchise to Marvel.
It's a smart move on them
because
like,
they had I won't say they had lightning in a bottle with Venom, but
Venom was great.
The first Venom movie was great. Like it has a lot of issues, but it was very enjoyable.
Venom was way better than I thought it would be. Not that I thought it was going to be bad, but I was like, how do you do Venom without Spider-Man? And then they went and did it. I was like,
they did it.
All right, that's how you do it. I got you.
Yeah. And so
it does give me hope though that we finally get to see the symbol on his chest now.
Yeah, like actual Venom.
And I was thinking about this the other day with Venom now in the Marvel movies. How cool would it be if they just say fuck Flash Thompson and make him Agent Venom?
Eddie Brock?
Yeah. Because of the style of that character, I like that. Or if not Agent Venom, just because I like the visuals of it.
I was gonna say Agent Venom only works because Flash Thompson's military.
That's true. Like, but I can't see them doing that with this Flash Thompson.
Eddie. True. Yeah.
Well, you could. He'd have to bulk up a little bit.
I was gonna say because we don't know what happened to Flash Thompson if he got snapped or not.
Well, yeah, we do.
Did he get snapped?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They talk about that in Far From Home.
Oh, that's
where
right.
He's on the plane. He's like got a glass of champagne, and that MJ's like he got snapped.
Yeah.
He's not that anyway. Speaking of Flash,
is he older?
No, he's the same age as them, so he definitely got snapped. But he's apparently part of their clique now. In the first trailer they released, where I'll show you after the show's over because we're almost done. When they're walking and it's that scene in the trailer of them in front of the school and everybody's got signs and shit.
Yeah.
You have Peter, MJ,
and
Ned, and then behind Peter with blonde hair is Flash.
Yeah.
So they're slowly, at least in that, with what little we have off that shot.
Yeah.
Now, especially him being blonde now, there's. I don't know why that was needed.
No, I was just thinking. I was just thinking with like all the multiverse stuff happening. What if we did get Agent Venom, but it's the Flash Thompson from the Tobey Maguire?
With Joe Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello goes back as Flash Thompson, but he's Agent Venom.
Dude, you know what would be? It would be hilarious, and this is a little mean because it's just they're both like. They look similar. I don't know what the heritage would be. Indian?
Between who?
The actor that plays Flash. Is he Indian?
I think he is.
Well, the guy, because in the face they look similar. The guy that played Riot in the first Venom movie, Reese something, that actor, I would grab him to play older Flash to play Agent Venom, like in terms of a multiversal thing. Like they're
because I don't even remember Flash Thompson from the Spider-Man movie.
They both have the same kind of like pointed chin, like angled face, and they're both. I keep saying Indian, but they may not be Indian.
Middle Eastern,
brown skin, black hair.
Yeah,
you know they look similar in that if you had a young blonde-haired, blue-eyed dude, you could grab an older blonde-haired, blue-eyed dude that looks similar enough that you could make it work.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle, who are two totally different, like, hues of black dude.
Yeah.
Like, you got Don Cheadle, who's like this 3 creamers in my coffee colored black guy. And then Don Cheadle.
3 creamers in my coffee.
And then Don Cheadle, you know, he's a pretty dark-skinned fella.
That's funny.
Honestly, dude, though, like, on the point of recasting with Don Cheadle, I think, as I like Terrence Howard, Don Cheadle fucking kicks ass.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely. See, that's another thing. Like, even though it was early on, they recasted him, and it wasn't that big of a deal.
And what cracked me up is they even made a joke, that, almost like a hint to a wink to the crowd, where it made sense in the.
It was like a hint, like nudge,
where like it made
thing.
sense in the context of the scene where he shows up and Tony's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm here. It's me. Deal with it."
Yeah.
And I was like,
"Oh yeah, during the courtroom thing
well done,
at the
Marvel.
beginning of the movie." Yeah.
Well done, Marvel. I'm with you on recast. I would love to see them recast T'Challa just so that we can get more stories. But from what I do, also understand the idea, not the idea, but the direction coming from them. Like, there's a producer that was talking about it recently who said we are not recasting T'Challa because the MCU T'Challa, everything people love about him, most of it comes from Chadwick.
Sure.
That's I'm using his terminology.
Yeah.
Most of what people
What he
love
brought-
about the
what he
character
brought to
is
the
what
character,
Chadwick brought to it. Because have you ever seen his screen test for Drax?
Chadwick?
Yeah. Chadwick auditioned for Drax before he auditioned for
Really?
Black Panther.
I didn't know that.
And I'm going to paraphrase what the casting lady says in the interview, but it's true. He brought this, like, regalness to Drax that wasn't what Marvel was looking for.
Yeah.
But when they saw the type of acting he was bringing to it, they went, "Oh, Black
Recast
Panther,
him for
you're
this.
over here."
Yeah.
And
We want you, but not for this.
and in a sense, man, I can kind of get that, because like even his vocal work for What If, like, for on one hand, it was such a nice like tribute to him post Tom, like, without knowing it was going to be, that he's in multiple episodes of that, and we get multiple different like flavors of T'Challa. Like, I know you're not huge on the Star-Lord T'Challa, and I get why. Like, it has its issues, don't get me wrong.
It's
like, why the fuck is his name Star-Lord? But, which, side note, I love how they did it in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Being a rock band. But I liked how you can get it, like, no matter how he's playing that character, it's what Chadwick is bringing to it is this, not ominous, but this resonance to it from, like, his core. And I do agree that no matter how good of an actor they got to replace that character, it wouldn't have the same feeling.
Sure.
And I disagree with people saying that they can't recast it. It would just feel different.
It would feel different, but there's no reason not
to
recast him.
However, the idea of where they could take the story without Chadwick, of like if they put Shuri in the suit next, like the movie having her being able to trying to figure out how she goes from just the tech person to maybe the leader, if they even do that, or trying to be Black Panther and still doing her other thing. Or I would actually love to see them put the suit on Okoye, because Okoye's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I like that actress, gives her more work.
I was gonna say, I would assume they'd try to do something like that, where it's like,
go ahead.
Where it's like Shuri doesn't feel confident enough to do it. She's like, I can't do this. And then, like, it kind of forces Okoye to be like, alright, we're going to do this together. And then it turns out, like, Okoye's like, look, I can't do this.
And if they do that, if they don't do Shuri or Okoye, I really think they would probably go with that one, unless they use, like, M'Baku or something like that, which M'Baku would be fun. It wouldn't be Black Panther, but it would be fun.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't. But I like the characterization he's taking with that character. So I think it would be fun, but I wouldn't want it to be permanent.
I just think it would. It feels like they might just go kind of. If it were me, trying to preserve
I would do Shuri. Not Shuri. Okoye. I would do Okoye.
I would do Shuri. Because it would be kind of the safe thing to do, where it would make sense in terms of the story arc. Where,
and she was that in the comics, so it's like you appease the comic fans.
Well, that too, but it's like you're taking up the mantle of your brother.
Yeah.
And there's that bloodline of the Black Panther stays within that bloodline. And Okoye is already serving a high enough purpose where you don't need to take away that. Like, she's already her own established character with her own established history and everything. You don't need to take that away from her to give her, like, a higher, quote-unquote, faux mantle.
I've also seen... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, I would do the thing where, like, Shuri doesn't feel confident enough to do it because she doesn't have this type of experience. Okoye comes in as, like, a mentor.
Temporary type thing.
Yeah, she comes in as, like, a temporary thing / mentor for Shuri. He's like, look, I'm going to teach you
this is how we fought. This is what we're gonna do.
And then by the end, sure.
And by the end, like Okoye's like, look, I'm not gonna be Black Panther. I'm already choosing this. It's either up to you or this whole thing falls.
Yeah.
And if this whole thing falls, then you get to deal with the backlash of everything.
So
it'll kind of force Shuri to like kind of take up that mantle in a leadership role in a sense.
I've also seen some people online saying, now I feel like shit because I can't remember the character's name, but the chick that he's trying to court the whole time.
Oh yeah. Because
she is, also very capable, and she has, in terms of her character, has a similar mindset of T'Challa, we need to be helping the other people, and we need to be expanding Wakanda to share our technology and our resources and blah blah blah. So she has a similar kind of like worldview as the character of T'Challa. So that's some of the internet thinks that would be a good choice. I wouldn't dislike that. I wouldn't be opposed to that, because then we get to keep Shuri in the slot she's at, which is great. Like her as the tech person. Like you could have Shuri become the queen even if the mom's dead, and have her be the top dog in Wakanda, and have her have the Black Panther be a separate thing. Like there's no real reason other than comic accuracy to make her both queen and Black Panther. Yeah. Because T'Challa wasn't Black Panther and king until the movie. Yeah. His dad was king when he was alive, and he was Black Panther. Or T'Challa was Black Panther. Yeah. So they don't have to be the same thing, and I think that would be probably easiest actually, because you have your hero and you have your dynasty.
I was gonna say. Plus, you have the quote unquote hero's arc.
Yeah.
Which everybody loves in anything, and everything you're trying to do where you don't include the hero's arc, it's crap.
Which she has a great arc too. Like even in Black Panther 1,
T'Challa, which one, Shuri or
I can't remember her name, and I feel like Lupita something. Lady? Yeah, Lupita is her name, the actress. But she was in a fucking that one Keegan Michael or not the Jordan Peele movie. The
Get Out?
No, the one with the scissors, where the clones.
No,
not Candyman.
I don't remember.
Anyway, it's a really good movie too. I can't fucking remember what it's called.
I don't know.
But she, in the first movie, she has a bit of an arc where, like, T'Challa possibly dies, and she still comes back and is fighting for Wakanda, and they don't even know, T'Challa's coming.
Yeah.
To where, like, she's got a good arc. She would be a fun character. I think it would be, the route Marvel would go would be Shuri.
That would, that's what they've been hinting at, but I don't think they'll be smart about it. That's the only difference between us writing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Oh, God. There was other things I wanted to get to, like Halo.
Ah, yeah.
So we'll talk about it next time.
Because
it just came out. It's just the multiplayer. The official game hasn't come out. So maybe next time. We could talk about when the official game comes out. So,
yeah.
December 8th.
Battlefield 2042, Far Cry 6 I've been playing. Like, there's so much game shit going on. We never really talk about games much. I was going to say,
I feel bad that we've spent the last 2 hours talking about just straight Marvel crap.
3, if you count the Ghost podcast. Because this is now 2 hours, and we had almost an hour.
It would be roughly over 2.5 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, so that was it. Finally, the second episode we've gotten recorded without getting the one before up in a timely manner.
Yay! And next time we will try to talk less Marvel and more other pop culture things, because we always touch on Marvel. Yeah. Let's try to talk about something besides comic books for a change.
It won't go away.
It's what we love. We love comics. It's who we are. Alright, ladies and gentlemen.
I like shitting on them.
That is fun. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been another episode of Poptards. I don't even know what number we're on. You can follow me.
This would be 8, I think.
Would this be 8?
I think.
Nice. We're almost to double digits. It would be nice to finally be in double digits.
In the most loose, reckless way. In the most unorganized way.
So you can follow me at Pro Wrestling Nerd on Instagram with a underscore between each word. You can also give a Google to the Hampton Connection and follow me there. Josh?
I'm on Instagram and Twitter at JSC Barber.
Alright. That has been another fun-filled episode of Poptards, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week, month, year, whatever.
Or something.
Something.